This hit hard. I'm just gonna say. Give me
You're
a second.
slice of pizza.
Just give me a second.
I'll give you a second.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a second. Sip.
I need some water with this one.
Hello, everybody.
I'm waiting for George to finish drinking his
Happy
water.
New Year! All right, take us in.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. You know, it's that time again, the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Lovely crew again, as always, another week down in the books in this cold, frigid air that's come in. I'll tell you what, feels right, though. We need to have this cold. So then we can go back into the heat.
No, when I came to the U.S., they said Texas is hot.
Yeah.
That's completely what's not right now.
No. Yeah, what the hell, Dylan?
I woke up this morning and saw it was in the 30s. I started crying. I was like, oh my God. I've got to go into hibernation.
Yeah. No,
It was in the 50s today, and I was complaining of how cold I was while we were outside moving around. I cannot fare with cold weather. It kills me.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 35 or 34 2 nights
This
ago?
morning.
Yeah.
This morning was when I got
Last
out.
night
It
was
was
42.
42.
Yeah, Tuesday morning, I think.
I think earlier it would have been in the 30s, but it
When
was
I
like
got up,
42.
it was 37 at like 6:50.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm like you, Dylan. I've gotten used to the heat recently that I'm just like, if it dips under 50 degrees, even just being outside with you guys moving stuff into the warehouse, I was like, all right, this is cool, but it's time to go inside.
Yeah, I had like frozen snot coming out of my nose.
But where is the limit for you? Like, okay, 58, 60. What do you feel like? It's uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable under 60, honestly, but it really depends on if it's windy and sunny. Because if it's sunny and not windy, it's better. But if it's windy and sunny, not as good as sunny with not windy.
There's more to it.
No sun, it's cloudy and windy. Yeah. It could be 60 and I'm going to complain about it. I promise you. I will complain in the 70s. It could be 72. I'll cry about it.
This is Puff Drink Talk podcast. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
What are we drinking on?
Well, what about your tea?
Oh, my tea. No tea. Water. Just water.
Okay.
I'd offer you a coffee, but I respect you too much to give you our K-cups.
Oh yeah.
No, after 2, man, I can't.
We have a special today. We have a special because Konrad is gonna do a special on how to smoke a pipe.
I do, yes. So I have grown up in a household of pipe smokers. My dad was a huge pipe smoker for many years, since I can ever remember. I've never really been into smoking pipes just because I always have allergies. It always stuffs me up. But honestly, since doing this podcast, and smoking cigars, it's really opened up my nasal cavity. I've been able to adjust really well to smoke. I've never been able to really handle it very well in the past before, but now I really enjoy smoking cigars. I think I told the story about my grandma passing away, and I wanted to smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I only got did I no.
No.
No. So she was, from 13 years old until the day she died, she just, a factory of smoke, of smoke.
Like a pack a day type person?
More like 4 or 5 packs a day.
Oh,
like
really?
She was heavy.
Wow. How old is she?
Like 67, 68 years old. And of course, because of lung cancer, cigarettes, just pure cigarettes.
So like a chain smoker.
Oh yeah, 100%. And she was this tall, super small little lady, huge temper, always angry, but a sweetheart at the same time. I don't know how to, and just drinking black coffee in the morning and whiskey in the afternoon. Like, she was an alcoholic and a drinker.
Lady after my own heart.
But I tell you what, she was a firecracker. She was just a lot of fun. But when she passed away, her favorite cigarettes were Newport. And I was like, I don't know, stupid stuff that runs through your head. I was like, in her memory, I'm going to smoke a pack of Newports.
Yeah, We find anything to justify. Right?
Yeah. So and
that was like what you were gonna do to honor.
Well, and I was in the military.
Exactly.
So in that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So in the and then of course
sense.
in the military.
It makes total sense.
Shut up! Let me explain.
No, that's really bad.
It made sense before he got to the second cigarette. He said, "Oh fuck, I've made a grave mistake."
Well, yeah.
There's no other way.
Well, and that's it. So I literally, I was like, I'm gonna do a packet because this was her favorite cigarette.
Yeah, because you do that one pack in the morning. So
yeah. I literally, and you guys are laughing, but
that's what happened.
Swear to God, yeah.
Of course.
3 cigarettes in, I'm going, no wonder she died of this shit, and I threw it away.
Those are the menthol ones.
Yeah,
too, right?
pure menthol, and I'm going like, God bless you, but that was so dumb smoking this shit. God, man, oh, God bless her, but yeah. So I got 3 cigarettes into the pack before I was like, no, cigarettes aren't my game. But
gotta get your numbers up, man.
Yeah.
4 packs a day. That's impressive.
Yeah. I couldn't even make it 1 before I was coughing along and going like, Jesus Christ.
I smoke half of
those cigarettes are so bad.
Oh man, especially menthols too. It was like you were kind of trying to make your mouth clean, but it was like licking an elf's asshole. Like, what are you doing?
Did he wipe his ass with peppermint? Or
Yeah, basically. So. But long story, my dad's always been a pipe smoker, and I grew up watching him and sometimes taking puffs with him. Of course, it's very similar to cigars. You don't inhale, you don't inhale it. You just let it go into your mouth and then exhale the excess smoke out. And since I have been doing this podcast with y'all, I've gotten a little bit more tolerant of the smoke. And so this Christmas I got a pipe with a packing tool and some very fine specialty tobacco from our local shop, Pipe World, which we are all very supportive of the small business. They treat us all well, and you need to be of legal age to enter and smoke, so please be of 18 years
21
or
now.
older. 21,
really? Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
21 years or older. Strike that 18, 21.
You die for your country. You can't smoke pipe.
Only in America. Anyways, so I thought I would do a tutorial really quick on how to...
Do you have a lighter for that one, or do you want me to get my soft flame?
We have a soft flame.
I thought that would be fitting. You love Buc-ee's.
I love Buc-ee's.
I love Buc-ee's too.
So, and the pipe...
Is the Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
The pipe purists out there are going to say, oh, you're not using matches or anything. No. Okay. I get it. You were not supposed to use a torch because the torch will heat up the wood of your pipe and damage it and crack it. So soft flame is better than a torch.
You're gonna go fancy. I think I have
We have a fancy
matches.
soft flame.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah, matches are probably
fancier.
the best.
I need to fill it with gas.
Oh. Well, while they're doing that, I'm going to get into how to properly pack and kind of the tutorial of smoking a pipe.
So,
we have
first time seen it up close. It's a nice looking.
Thank you.
Pipe right there.
It is a pipe designed by Lorenzo.
Is there a name for the shape?
There is, and I cannot remember it. So you do have your straight pipes that usually just come straight out like this. This curvature is a different name. I forget the name of it.
I know some, like the ones that are more flat and then go to the curves, like the Sherlock. There's like different names for all the shit.
There are different names for the different models. My brother got one. It is of a white material. It's a white seafoam or seafoam in German, but I forget the Sturograd.
Anything in German is not used.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, be a combination of words.
Yeah, I'm not doing my family
It
justice.
seems like 3 different materials. Like it's a glass and then wood and then what? Yeah.
Yes. So it is 3 different woods molded together.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and this is plastic. It isn't glass.
Yeah. Oh, I thought. Okay.
Yeah. But it is 2 different types of woods. But so the one that my brother got is white, and if you see them, they're more decorative. Thing is, they're very, and again, the name in German is slipping my mind. This whiskey's going really well. But the problem is you can't touch the wood because you'll start staining it. It can't get too overly hot. You're only supposed to smoke about 15-20 minutes before you can really start causing discoloration. But the benefit of it, it's very pliable and very easily to make something out of it. So his pipe, it's a similar shape as this, but it comes down to an old man smoking a pipe. And then on top of his head is where you put the bowl in. So they're very decorative. He also has another one where it's like a tiger face, and a lot of the really cool, intricate design ones you can get of that material. It's just there's a protective wax that you have to be mindful of. You can only smoke for so long. The white only lasts for so long before you're just going to start experiencing discoloration. The lifespan of those pipes are really, really very short. This pipe will probably last me 15-20 years.
Wow.
My dad has a pipe that he's smoked and used for 40 years. So pipes can last a long time. Properly maintain them, respect them, treat them well. Pipes can last a long time. Anyways, properly pack these. There's my 3 fingers. 3 pinches or bowls full. The first one, and again, this is where a lot of people have differing ideas. I don't know if you can see that. Get a bowl full, tamp it down. You can either use your finger or this tamper. Get it nice. You're not forcefully putting it in there, but just enough to tamp it down.
Okay.
The next one, second pinch. You're going to tamp it down, but just very, very gently, just to get it in there. And then the last one, third pinch, is just getting it all up. You can use your fingers, your thumbs, and just kind of pack it in there, just very, very gently. Just like that. Okay. This is a super good blend. I don't know what. Just says specialty blend. I don't know what was in it, but I'll have to go back to Pipe World and figure that one out. So anyways, that is what your pipe should look like. Fully packed, 3 pinches. The first pinch you're going to tamper in there. The second pinch you're going to tamp in a little bit more, and then this last one is just a very loose leaf. Okay. Here's the tamping tool as well. So you have your tamper, your pick, and then your shovel. So you have 3 different tools. This is ironically enough made by Revlon. So
really?
Revlon nail clippers, hair care products. Yeah, it's all by that. Soft flame. Is this ready to use?
You gotta flip it up.
Yeah.
Flip it to
fire.
That's how you actually turn it off as well.
Okay. So you're gonna do a circular motion.
Smells like Christmas.
So with that, first couple of puffs is just to get that top layer charred.
Okay.
The next, and you're just gonna let it do its kind of smoking, and then you're gonna relight it. The type of draw that you want, it's not gonna be a tight draw. It's not going to be a heavy draw. It's like sipping water from a straw. And see, it's already out, so you just relight it again. And then there you go. And you just go at it.
That's cool.
Bye-bye.
It smells really good.
Yeah,
It does smell
it's
good.
a really
It smells
good.
sweet.
Yeah.
It does.
Pretty aromatic.
And then there you are. That's it. You're gonna have to stoke it every once in a while. You know,
And
pipes and relight. Pipes do go out, but they're not as. They're a little bit more finicky, and sometimes you have to get it just right. But I mean, if you get a pipe going where it gets into about the top layer starts burning and getting into the second and third layer, lasts about 30-45 minutes for a good smoke, and then you don't have to relight it or anything like that. So yeah, that's your tutorial.
That's
on
your pipe piece.
Yeah,
It's your piece.
my pipe piece.
Delicious. They smell, right?
Yeah.
It does smell really good. So could you extend the life of the pipe if you bought like smoking gloves?
It would be beneficial for that other kind that I was talking about that my brother has. For this one, it doesn't
Put on like
matter.
some fine white gloves. That'd be a cool ritual too. So every time you're getting ready to smoke the pipe, you put the gloves on. And that's how you handle it, because you don't want to damage it. That sounds pretty
If
interesting.
it's like
to
a
me.
jewelry, I'd say yeah.
Well, it's the type of material that starts breaking down the more you touch it with your oily fingers. So you have to get gloves to smoke.
Well, and that's it. Is like you
That's
have
fancy.
to hold it by the stem.
That's very fancy.
Unless you get gloves.
So
I'm really pushing this, I know. But
I'm not wearing gloves. No, I'm not.
No, come on.
But with this one, it's a nice wood, sturdy wood, so you can just hold it like this. Hold the bowl, hold the stem if you want, wherever you want to, and just puff away.
This looks cool.
Yeah.
I can tell.
it does look cool.
I can tell, right?
Well, and I am smoking our other special blend, because we have two special blends. So I'm smoking another, Ballerini Floors, which is a celebration of the 10 years of the company over here. And this also has a Brazilian wrapper, but it's slightly different, the filler and the binder. So I'll be smoking this one. Smells really good.
As per usual, right? As per usual,
You're doing
I'm
it,
bringing
Carillo.
Carillo. De novo, let's try it again. Right? Let's try it again. Another one. I think it's the fifth I bring.
Yeah, I think so.
To the podcast, the third.
Oh, yeah, to the podcast. Okay, yeah. Wow.
But you've been going down the EP Carillo
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. Every time I go there, a different one,
Ernesto Perez.
Ernesto Perez.
And honestly, all I ever hear is amazing things about them. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that's going to be another really good
Yeah,
one.
so for someone who is starting, actually, this is pretty good to follow, to try like all the types they offer, because it usually, I think, really well awarded, right? So this
Yeah,
one is a
usually they're in the-
95.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
But it doesn't matter what their scores are. What matters is your score.
yeah.
Yes.
Our scores when we are smoking a cigar. Enough about cigars. So we are into New Year's.
Yes.
We are.
Have we prepared anything about New Year's?
Oh, well, I thought we would just talk about the traditions and the differences, obviously, with Brazilian and American cultures and other cultures. I mean, Dylan and I probably celebrate New Year's very differently here in the United States. I feel like it's not as strong, the New Year's festivities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's get the history down. So when did it start? Okay, year zero, and then from year zero to year one, and then they had the celebration. That's history.
Yeah.
So, and they've been doing that since. Let's
Go
go
back
to our
in the
own tradition.
Actually, it goes back to 4,000 years ago.
Oh, 4,000 years ago. So,
BCE.
so it's
Yeah,
not year
so-
zero then. It's year like
It's
minus
Julius Caesar.
3,000.
It's supposed to be Julius
BCE.
Caesar. Yeah.
Is
So he chose, I think, the god Janus, and then it's just he chose that god because the god has two faces, two faces, one forward and one backward, backward. So it will remind you of December, New Year, and
Okay.
that's why. You see, I remember the story, man.
Yeah,
No
good.
phones here, but I remember the story.
Good.
Right. So it goes back.
So about 4,000 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't trust. You see, in at the data, right? We say we don't have any commitment with the truth.
Right.
You know, only with our opinions. So you shouldn't trust that much my source. But
What are you saying? This is a serious podcast in here.
I know, right?
We're experts on everything.
I always ask, do your own fact checking.
Exactly.
I'm too lazy to do it, so I see something online. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Like today, I saw on Twitter, it was the first Tesla AI robot attacked one of the Tesla workers, and they had to hit the emergency button and shut it all down. As far as the headline goes, it sounds very concerning. You read the article, the AI robot thought that he was a car part, so it just picked it up and like pinned him out of the way of something.
Yep.
It was a mistake. But the article makes it seem like it was a robot AI attack on humans.
Media, man, this is what they want. Yes.
You always do have to fact check.
And wasn't that article written in 2021? So it was a couple years old.
I just saw it this morning today.
So I read a similar thing, and someone was like, "This happened a couple years ago," and he had a couple of scratches on his back. And after the incident, he went back to work, and it was just some issue with the AI robot.
They
2
must
years ago.
sign some hefty paperwork or something, because if Elon Musk had an AI robot and it scratched you, would you not want to try and tap in on a lawsuit? Yeah, I don't like people to do that, but when you
To
think
be
about
honest
that,
with you, it doesn't matter who
think about how
the
much money
company
it
owner is. I think anybody would. It's American, right?
Oh,
we're a very litigious society, yes. But when it's a company like, it could be Ford or like an airline, Tesla, something that you know is a multi-billion-dollar company, you are for sure going to go seek litigation. But I just think when you work there, you probably signed paperwork where maybe you can't. Or he just didn't care. Stuff does happen like that.
But the thing is, I think the article that came out wasn't from the person. It was just about the story. So the guy didn't, the person never came out and went to Twitter, went Instagram, whatever, and was like, oh, this is what happened to me, and the robots are out to kill each other.
So somebody else that saw it reported it somehow to the media.
That's the thing is, the incident had to be reported to the Travis County, from the article that I read. And maybe your article was a little bit different, but the article I read was the incident had to be reported to the police or the paramedics for Travis County, and that's where it took 2 years for this story to finally break.
No, I didn't read really that deep into it, so I don't know. I read like a couple things, and I saw that somebody was trying to make it sound like something it wasn't, and then I saw something that disproved that, and then I kind of just moved on. But it wouldn't support a company like that, like SEC filings, everything you have to do with like how much money you make. I'm sure if there's any sort of incident for shareholders and things like that, you have to give that information to the public. Same with like in the NFL, for example, if there's any player that just stubbed his toe, you have to report it because there's millions, billions of dollars that are gambled every week on the games. So it's a real problem if you don't do it. You get fined heavily. So I'm sure they get fined if they don't give out information about things that happen, mistakes, because shareholders want to know that information. But yeah, I didn't know it was 2 years ago, but just an example of something I saw literally today that, it's like you really do have to fact check everything you see because you don't know what's real and what's not.
I'm facting checking my whiskey is running out, so if you don't mind.
Do you want the same?
Where is he going?
No, I'm
I'm
gonna try something different. Yeah.
You want to go for honey, peanut butter, or the R&R, which is just plain
Peanut butter.
It's a bunket.
Okay, I'm gonna start you off with just a small bit of this because
Let me hold on because I still have some left in here.
And I would recommend pouring some water in there and drinking the water first. These are completely different tastes. And if you've never had this before, it's going to be a very strong flavor. It's delicious. I love it. But I know many people that hate it. But knowing that you like peanut butter, I think you'll like it. It's just going to be so different.
It's New Year's, and we start a new tradition, which is like trying different whiskeys at the same time we record a podcast.
Today we have a little bit of Jim Beam honey. We are trying the Rich and Rare Reserve, Canada.
Wow.
I've had this before. I know it's good. It's people out there, you know, if you're of drinking age and you're into whiskey, just a similar to like an everyday smoking cigar, just an inexpensive cigar for everyday use. This is an inexpensive whiskey that you could sip on every day, just on the rocks, or you could mix into a mixed drink with Coke or whatever you want. But pretty good quality for the price. And of course, we have some Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Wow.
Very big here in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you keep up with that or not, but this stuff is liquid gold.
But what we're
Should I
drinking
have
that
ice
Maker's
with it?
Mark.
I'll get you some ice, yeah.
Oh.
And I'm gonna get you I'm gonna get you ice. I'm gonna pour you just this much, and then once you like it, we'll give you a glass just to make sure. I know you're gonna like it, but I want to make sure just in case you don't.
This already smells nice.
It's really good.
And I'm gonna tell you, these cigar. I mean, I ordered the blend, and I had not smoked it, but it's pretty good. I like it.
There you go.
This is
Dylan.
fantastic.
That smells really good, by the way, Konrad.
Really good.
It looks like a meat.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Have you
You know,
smoked
like-
this one?
Was it?
Or,
you know,
no,
Was
you
it
smoked the
that
other
one or
one.
the other one that I? No, it was the
That's how I
BA,
feel.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, I
That's
didn't have
what
it.
it-
I haven't
That
had
looks
a
good.
decade.
That
Meat.
looks like
No,
yeah.
I'm
These-
not kidding.
these one,
You know
this
what?
blend.
When it's,
I haven't had that blend of the decade, no.
I don't know. It's
It's
smoked, like really,
Really good.
well smoked.
Yeah.
This one I'm
Cool.
feeling. Smoked barbecue.
If you can have a smoked barbecue and a cigar, like that is.
Is that it?
That's
Yes.
Try the sip of
This
it
is what
real
I'm
chill,
feeling.
and I'm gonna
Yeah.
fill your glass up just so you get
Again,
like,
it's just the
a really
experience,
cold
right?
first
So
sip of it.
I'm not into the details on the intricacies of the cigar,
It's
but
very creamy.
Yeah.
And it'll coat your
No,
mouth a
that
little bit. That's
sounds-
why when you're asking how
that's
does it
good.
pair with a cigar, I don't know because I know it'll coat your mouth with the peanut butter.
meaty. Yeah. Wow.
It's almost like I want to say a liquor, but over here liquor means alcohol.
Look cool.
Liqueur.
So
Yeah, sweet,
yeah,
sugary alcohol.
but dense and compact.
It is. I mean, it's a 70 proof, so it is technically liquor, but it is more of a liqueurs. Typically, aren't super high in their proof, so this isn't gonna kill you, but it'll catch up with you.
Oh, oh,
Contains penis.
If it
A
doesn't
penis.
kill you,
what?
if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
That's what I've always heard.
Yeah. So they say.
Well, there's that
Now,
music
I
about
really
it.
think this mint julep Maker's Mark probably would kill me because it tastes like sweet tea with mint in it. It doesn't even taste like, I mean, you get like a hint of whiskey, but out of the bottle, it tastes like a mixed drink of sweet tea, mint, and whiskey. It doesn't just taste like whiskey.
So, and I
Did
had
you
to,
dilute it?
I had to water mine down just a little bit, and the sparkling water ends up making it a sparkling tea, mint tea with that whiskey.
Sounds like a bad idea.
It's well,
It
it's
does,
bad
right?
as in like dangerous.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
dangerous,
so
because
I'm
I
gonna-
could
Yeah.
drink this all day.
I tend to stay away from
Really?
stuff I know I'm going to like too much, you know?
Yeah.
Carbonated water with my mint julep Maker's Mark could potentially be one of them. That and crack.
Yeah.
So two things I won't touch.
Not anymore.
Everything else on the table.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
So, what are normally the traditions in the Seattle area?
Enjoying the rain, seeing some fireworks.
Depressing.
Yeah,
Does it rain
that's
there?
Just a couple of times.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, the traditions I grew up with were enjoying fireworks, and thing is, nobody wanted to really go out at night just because there was so many, drinking and driving.
Mm-hmm.
Which I still feel that way even now.
Do you?
I went out one New Year's just around to go to go drive around. I think it was after we saw some fireworks and we're coming back, and it was like, yeah, that person's definitely drunk. And of course, when you have family and kids in a car, you're like, I'm not gonna risk it. So, and that's why I feel like the American way of doing it. If you don't go to like a New Year's Eve event in downtown, go to a party and just party and then Uber back home, it's not as strong as New Year's celebration is in like Brazil or other places where it's summertime south of the border, where everyone is out on the beach on vacation, enjoying themselves, having a good time. It's a completely different atmosphere, different vibe. So,
but you know what? In Brazil, we always had like with the family the same sort of ritual as the Christmas Eve.
yeah,
Like dinner and then a mass, pray, and then okay, time to go out, and then go out to a nightclub or just hang out with friends somewhere. There's gonna be a party of some sort.
Just remember that that's summer, right? So it's the opposite.
In Brazil, it's
In Brazil,
summertime.
it's
So
summertime,
in
so
Brazil, it's very hot and humid and rainy.
people a lot of people like to go to the shore, like millions of people.
Yeah,
right?
and then you
So-
go to the beach.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends. For example, the time that I was living not by the beach, it was pretty much like that. Go out to a nightclub, and then that nightclub, just enjoy the night, dancing and all of that. In my case, I'm a man hitting at girls, and the girls there hitting at a man.
hitting on.
Hitting on.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying hitting.
Hitting
Yeah.
on.
Hitting on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hitting on. Okay, yeah. So.
There's no physical abuse happening.
No, okay.
Yes, just to be very clear.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So we are not. We are not.
Do you have to clarify that time frame?
Yeah, exactly. Or cut it off.
There could be some misconceptions there.
Okay. Anyways, so it would be like going out, and then that's it, right? And then of course, some parties, it could go wild, very
Right.
wild, right?
Right.
If you're by the beach, like the city that my dad lives right now, we'd go down to the beach and then take some sort of food in there as well. So just like stay on the beach, and then you have to jump whatever the 7 waves, and then throw some gifts to the whoever is expecting to receive it on the other side. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all like superstition kind of stuff, right? So and then you go to the beach, and then you're there, everybody wearing white most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my the places that I used to. I mean, you are a completely different region than I am from Brazil, so.
Yeah, so there is Iemanjá, flowers to Iemanjá. Then if you jump 7 waves, little waves. Have you
Yeah.
heard about that?
Yeah, I did
So
that.
it's like what the so the sea comes. So the first whatever 7, you have to wait for the 7 and make a wish, for example.
Yeah.
But there are
You
many,
jump 7 little waves,
Yes.
and then you make a wish, and then you throw
Yes.
something to Iemanjá.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's more common by the shore for
Okay.
obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
So Iemanjá, which is a saint.
It's from Bahia.
Yeah.
It's not a saint. It's like could be a saint on their own beliefs. I don't know.
Anyway, let's not touch
I don't know.
religion, right?
I don't know that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Uh,
But I know that's never at home. It's always like going
Yes.
out.
Yes.
It's always going out. I mean, the parents, they will stay home, but us, at the time, teenagers or
Especially
young
Getting
age,
out there.
especially because
getting
of
out there, yeah.
in Brazil, fireworks are serious for New Year's Eve.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, because I've seen it. Yeah, have you seen about Rio anytime? What happens there? So yeah, so everywhere it's a big thing, right?
Yeah, it's competing. It competes with Melbourne, Australia.
Yes,
Competes
that's
with
right, that's right.
New York. Competes with.
There's no competition in New York with fireworks
know.
compared to.
Brazilians are proud people,
And,
and
yeah.
if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it as big as they can possibly do it,
Exactly.
because they want you to know that they do it the best.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
they. So I would not be surprised if Rio is like popping
Sometimes like
off.
more than an hour. It
Popping
doesn't
off.
stop like for an hour.
It's
2
a
hours
long
more,
time.
Yeah.
It's not as long as, because you have to plan so much, time in advance, and every single city, because that's actually the mayor of the city that prepares. It's not the country, it's not the state, it's the city.
Oh, individual cities will
Yes.
prepare separately, like Rio,
Yeah.
Sao Paulo,
and
all
and-
do theirs
Big
separately
cities.
with the mayors.
Well, the mayor, the city, they actually makes available a budget for that.
Okay,
So, but they don't talk to each other, of course, like Melbourne, Australia,
sure.
right? Which normally is one of the biggest, and actually it's 12 hours before. So Rio, yeah, because it's 12 hours before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody in Brazil, even the mayor, he sees it and like, oh, I only planned for, because you have to have licenses and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to have the fire brigade and everything. It's like, oh, I only planned for 55 minutes, thinking that it would have been like 3 minutes more. But then Australia, let's say Australia did like an hour 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and they go like that. But it's still a great show. I mean, it does compete with New York. I mean, it might not be as long, but sometimes it's louder, it's higher, or something like that. There is always something that, in Rio, it was more of these,
How many times have you spent New Year's in Rio?
About zero.
About 0. Okay. No, you
Never been to.
Never been to.
Never been to.
I've been a couple of times. So yeah, man, it's noisy. And
Yeah.
you have different locations where you can go.
Really?
Like it's just disputed. So yeah, so Rio is a
No, I never
It's a
done
huge
New
city,
Year's over there.
yeah. And have you guys spent the New Year's somewhere else outside the U.S.?
Porto Alegre.
Porto Alegre.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you, Hilton?
Me?
Yeah.
Outside of the U.S.?
Yes.
Oh, many times.
Brazil and U.S.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
The UK.
I've lived in so many different places,
Okay.
and not only in Brazil but in the world. So yes, I've spent New Year's. Probably, I'm 47 years old. Probably,
You don't look it though. You look
Yeah.
very good.
yeah. I see. Probably about, I would say, 50 different cities.
Okay.
No, I mean, by my own, like traveling and going, somewhere, probably 25 different cities. Yeah, I've experienced
I think
a lot.
It's honest. It's an honest number.
It's a lot.
I feel like here in the United States, 4th of July is going to be the biggest competitor to fireworks show.
Probably.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
For
Probably,
that.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
4th
I've
of
been-
July is huge.
The best 4th of July fireworks display I've ever been to. Well, one, it was at Camp Pendleton in San Diego, and it was a 50-minute fireworks show on the beach, and my wife and her family were there, and they were like, this reminds us of New Year's in Brazil. Everyone on the beach, hundreds of people
Yes.
drinking, and there was a live band, and then the fireworks display was a long display, a ton of fireworks. They're like, this is how it is in Brazil. So I think the American equivalent of firework display and fun is 4th of July for
Yes.
the United States.
I would compare that.
Yeah.
No, it's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
There is another thing that happens in Brazil, which is the San Silvestre
Yeah. There's that too.
race, like running race,
Like a marathon or
a marathon. Yeah,
It's
Long
it's
distance?
It's less
less than a marathon. It's they have their own
Yes.
size, their own length, and it's famous.
Don't we all?
Every single runner in the world, they want to go and race on that race. They want to, win that race or something like that. So it's very famous. That's also, I mean, if you're a runner, and normally you've heard of it, and then you probably plan to go.
Plan for it or something.
Yeah, because it's like warmer climate, and it's in Brazil, and then
It's like a globally known thing.
It's a brand.
Exactly.
It's a brand in the run.
Yeah. So
What, is that in
really
Rio?
cool.
Is that in Rio too?
São Silvestre.
yeah.
It's a region of Rio.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's
the name of it.
That's
I know
because
where
São
it's
Silvestre,
Yes.
for the Catholic Church, is the saint of the 1st of January.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
so it's done every New Year's.
So yeah,
There
so
we
it
go.
happens.
360. Get back to the.
Yeah, so it happens. Yeah, it happens.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
isn't that great?
not.
You think it was by chance?
Oh,
Nah.
there is no
sir.
chance.
There's no
The
chance.
house always wins.
So it happens on the day of that saint, right? So that's why it's called São Silvestre. So,
Interesting.
So you see that?
That's a lot cooler than anything that goes on over here.
Yeah, it's exciting. I remember like how many São Silvestres have you watched? Not in person, but on TV. Like how many
in person,
times?
none.
Yes, but
On TV, probably about, I would say 25 to 30
Exactly.
times.
like every
Yeah, everybody sits down to
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
the freaking race.
Really?
millions and millions of people watch it. Millions.
So it'd be
Wow.
similar to like the Boston Marathon, the New York
Yes.
Marathon.
I would say yes,
something
yes,
like that.
yes, yeah.
Some big
Yes.
marathon.
So
race.
those big marathons, the São Silvestre is included on that.
Oh,
people
the-
go like,
the
I have to
sub,
do
yeah.
São
You do
Silvestre.
that.
Circuit.
You do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they plan for it because like I have to do it. You know what I mean? It's something, and it's always like they have so many
Interesting.
people racing,
And
Yeah.
and then they put like costumes, and then they start
Yeah.
the race.
it's
Oh,
a big.
yeah.
Do you know what the feeling? Have you been to the Cap 10K?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that on steroids. Let's put this way.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh? That doesn't
makes
make sense. Yeah, because right. So because it's like it stops the country, right? So everyone is expecting that, man. That and Roberto Carlos singing, right?
But that's for not for New Year's, but that's for
You know
Christmas.
who it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's for Christmas, yeah.
Oh, is it for Christmas?
Yeah, it's for Christmas.
I'm
Yeah,
mixing
but-
it. Yeah.
It's right then.
Yeah.
Still
It's like
same.
just a week.
Normally
Yeah.
it's on the 23rd or something like that.
Oh yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was New Year's. Yeah.
No. So what are the traditions normally, Dylan, around here in Texas?
We all go to the nearest stable. We hop on horses and ride around and shoot 6-shooters until we're blue in the face every New Year's.
That's cool.
Such
And
horseshit.
then when it's late,
Man.
we wait till our neighbor farm friends are sleeping. We go cow tipping. What else do we do? Shit.
You're trying to find something interesting to
Everything's
say.
it's so believable too.
We all bust out our biggest 10-gallon hats. We see who can chug beer fastest out of their hat.
I forgot to mention that in Brazil we
none
also
of
jump
this.
from tree to tree with the monkeys.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
and then we jump on top of the crocodile heads, and then you know what I mean.
Go across the
Yeah, so I forgot to
No.
mention that as well. On that theme, yeah, I forgot to
we
mention that.
grew up with similar hobbies then, right? Obviously, it's all luck.
We're all the same, man.
Obviously.
Everywhere.
It's all luck.
north, south.
No,
It
south,
doesn't
no,
matter.
it doesn't
We're all the
matter.
same.
You know, all the time, people that have never been to Texas and come to Texas always assume we ride horses and
On the streets, yeah.
well,
wagons.
In all fairness, I have seen it in person.
In all fairness, I've ridden a horse, but
Yeah.
not when I go to the grocery store.
it's just-
I saw it over.
You do see it, but it's not the norm.
It's just a super simple.
No, yeah, it's not normal.
Don't
It's not no, but
pretend
yes,
It's
it's
like
okay.
norm,
you can
Konrad.
see
Right, I'm not-
monkeys
I'm
in
not-
Brazil,
Okay.
in the city.
Yeah.
You can see it in Curitiba. You know, they are there. You know,
I know what you're trying to do. You're painting it. No,
But
nothing.
it's,
No,
it's
but I've
something
never-
exotic. But it's,
You're being ornery.
No, I'm not being ornery at all.
No,
I
you
swear
are.
to God, I've been to a Walmart and seen people pull up on horses.
I've seen someone shit downtown. That doesn't mean it happens every day.
yeah,
Well,
It
right.
probably does
Yeah,
happen
from
every day.
California. I'm shit capital of
Yes.
San Francisco.
have you
I know-
been? You know, downtown at the same time. Maybe that person is the time that the bowel movement happens for that person. you know, and it happens to be that person is coming back from
He
work
just
or
got
something.
off his fucking horse to take a shit. That's probably what happened. In Konrad's world, that's what happened.
Yeah, and he left all of his
Every homeless
groceries.
person takes a shit must have rode a horse there.
And they're mid-travel, the horse had to go. He's like, I gotta go too. So they both just plop it down and take a shit. You know? That's the thing. That's why people in Texas, it's easy to relate with these electric car drivers because you can only get so far before you have to stop and charge. You can only get so far with a horse. They're going to stop. They got to shit. They want to eat. They want to drink. It's no different than a car.
Yeah.
You're better off with a truck.
And one horse has 15 horsepower.
I was going to ask. I didn't know if you knew that. Did you know how many? You took it away from me. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry.
One horse actually has 15 horsepower, not 1 horsepower.
Okay.
So,
Wow. That's a revelation for me.
well, the guy who came up with the calculations for it wanted to sell more horses. So he made it to where instead of a horse having a horsepower, they calculated it with the weight that a horse could pull at a certain distance, tied to a rope, a certain amount of elevation down, and weird calculations. So he did that to say one horse is actually worth 15 horsepower. And all of a sudden, he started selling a lot of horses.
Wow.
Fun little tidbit for you.
Yeah.
I know
It's
you
all
woke up
commercial.
this morning and you're curious about that.
What? What?
So. That was on everybody's mind. How many horsepower does a horse have?
Yeah, right. So is
I always thought it was 1-to-1, but
I thought it
actually
was
it's
a
not.
1-to-1, ratio.
No, listen, I used to as well. Now that's something you can carry on into life and share with other people, you know?
Just kind of
Oh
like
my
the New
God.
Year's Eve traditions of Texans.
It's the walking encyclopedia no one asked for, you know what I mean? That's what I have a bunch of information no one ever would want to know, but you're just told it because someone like me is
And I think more
spent
people,
time learning.
I
Yeah, that's
think,
fun.
I think that needs to be shared more to the world because
Fun facts are fun.
there's stupid people out there. Obviously, not our audience.
Not our viewers.
They're
Yeah.
they're
None of us
geniuses.
either.
Yeah.
of course,
I'm not stupid.
No, not at all.
Me neither.
But we want to learn. We
Don't
want to
you
know these
insinuate
things.
that.
No, not at all. That's not my insinuation. Shit boy.
He sits on his.
Down.
Is it a
I would never
Popeye?
say that about these
Exactly.
people around.
Is it like a Popeye kind
So
of?
fancy.
Is it the same shape as the Popeye one?
Kind of. No, he had the cob. He had the cob that came straight out.
Oh yeah, it was a
Exactly.
straight.
Yeah.
You like spinach?
I do. I
You
do
do?
actually. Yeah. I love spinach.
Can you eat spinach through pipe?
We're about ready to find out here.
Alright.
Okay.
About ready to find out. I think if there's a will, there's a way.
You let other people touch your piece?
You want to touch my piece? Is that what you're insinuating?
I want to touch it.
There you go. It's nice and warm.
It feels very tactile on your fingers.
If that was only audio, it would be a big problem, right? But now we have the video, so we know that what's being touched, right? You're like, whoa, where is he going with that? You know, like,
Where's this
now
coming
there's a
from?
video
It's just
there.
audio.
There's a video there. Right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And in today's society, I think it wouldn't be a problem at all.
Yeah.
Celebrated.
Yeah.
Be celebrated.
Like shit in the streets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Celebrated.
We've all.
San Francisco.
You know, you've seen San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's an app for it.
But parties
There's
around
always
here
that,
on
right?
New Year's,
for
does it
everything.
get like wild? Like for example, in Brazil, it gets really wild. When I say wild, like sexually wild.
You said it get wild here, or did you say Paris?
Here.
I don't know why I
Around
heard
here.
Paris.
I heard Paris
No,
too.
I don't think it
Okay.
gets. Did you?
Yeah, I heard Paris too.
I
No,
thought you were asking
I didn't
about.
say Paris.
You
no.
didn't?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I could have sworn you were asking about Paris. I was like, I don't know.
No, like in Brazil,
I would imagine it gets.
it gets really sexual. But over here, does it get like
From
You know
meeting
what?
you, I think Brazilians are just very sexual people.
Well, and it's so
Because-
funny because he spent New Year's at my house and he's going to do it again. So I don't know where this sexual energy is coming
in
from.
your house? Well, we
He's setting it up,
Energy.
dude.
We are like adults
Should
now.
I bring my
Yeah.
hand
Right?
clips?
With
So,
with kids.
adults still have sex.
Should I bring my
but
furry
with kids,
chains?
and then we
yeah.
go, the kids play and whatnot. So and that's it. We just hang out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, like the party is when you're like, teenagers before you married or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, have like a little rainbow
Like for
party.
example, Dylan's age right now. He's not
Yeah.
a teenager though, but
Yeah.
does it get
Right.
wild?
Yeah,
So,
of course it does.
it does. It gets
It's the opposite
really
of
crazy.
ageism. There, huh?
I know.
What do you call it?
I've watched this race 30
Youngism?
times. Like, fuck, I'm
Youngism?
not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
I've seen it none. No, I wouldn't say it's like sexually charged, but it gets wild because everyone's drinking. But I wouldn't
think
say
with
it's like
any
Oh,
alcohol
in
is
Brazil,
always
it's like-
involved.
you're not going around grabbing people by the pussy or anything, but you're.
But who would say that?
Oh, you know.
You're just curious,
Former
like,
president.
yeah, I'm just curious to know about that.
But just saying that,
Former, potentially future.
we're gonna have to beep. We're gonna have to beep that word.
Right.
I'll grab them by
Yes.
the something else.
Yeah.
Hands and
Yeah.
firmly give them a
Grab
handshake.
them.
By the-
Right.
A gentle squeeze.
Wow.
No, we
With
No.
the sandwich.
our sandwich of sorts, you know. A little bit of
But it
Coca-Cola in
is,
there.
man. That night is a night for liberations. I feel that in Brazil, right? So it's like,
really
yeah.
people get rowdy.
It's just that
Man is wild.
maybe
It's
you
pretty
can
much-
do
it's-
whatever you know. This is the day I can do whatever I want.
Like the
it's
Purge.
And a little bit like that.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. Oh, it's more than one. If I'm
Yeah,
not
well, there's
mistaken.
multiple,
Yeah,
yeah.
like multiple. Yeah.
It's the same as the carnival in Brazil. I don't want to say carnival because carnival means just like a
Yes.
playground with
Yes.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
like games
It's
and
hard to
whatnot.
translate that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the,
It's
the
an
carnival
institution.
in Brazil is
But it's the Rio Carnival that
Exactly.
every year it's annual, right?
yes.
So I was gonna ask you how that compared to New Year's in terms of like how big it is in
Yeah, we
Brazil.
can do a podcast on that.
Separate.
When the time of the carnival is
In,
happening.
within
It's
2
happening.
months.
Yeah,
When
but
is
in,
it?
it's
February.
yeah, it's in February. So what happens is like the New Year's Eve in Brazil. It's like a taste of the that particular the following year carnival.
Oh, okay. There's like a theme to it.
It's not a theme, but it's like
Get you started.
yeah, I'm gonna go wild. You know what I mean? And then because carnival is like 3 or 4 nights.
Buck wild.
That is as wild as the New Year's, but the New Year's only one. So it's just like an intro. Like, okay, so I'm doing these, and then
2024
Figure
is
out the
on.
water a little bit.
Yeah,
Test
and
the
then-
temperature.
Yeah.
and then in 2 months' time, and then things
And-
like
But
But
really.
think about this. The January 1st is the beginning of a period, and then the carnival is the end of that. So there is a kind of a old saying that Brazil only starts on March 1st.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You see,
Yeah.
so
After all this
those
craziness
2
is
dates,
done.
you know
you've
what I'm
heard
saying?
of it, right?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And I've experienced it too because nobody's in Porto Alegre when it went from January until after Carnival. Everyone's on vacation. Everyone's out of the city.
Exactly.
Everyone's at the beach.
And it's the school break because it's summer break.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
summer
yeah,
break.
all
there.
summer break
also
is
there,
Okay.
yes, that's true. I forgot
Interesting.
about that.
Yeah,
And-
so it's
yeah.
summer break, and some, I mean, like elementary only starts after the carnival, but because it's like it has more lessons, throughout the year, so they start like a week or 2 before carnival,
Okay.
and then have a little break for the carnival, and then
Oh,
and
Get back up.
But was
Makes
it like
mice.
that when you were in
Yes,
class?
yes.
Yeah, because my classes would always start after carnival. Like
No,
Yeah.
it's always March. My classes would
It's
start
the
in
South.
March.
The South, man. The people it's too crazy. People
Yeah.
in the South. You married into a crazy lady because she's from the South.
Yeah. And
I
can
know.
you please
She's-
define crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. Define crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Crazy is here. Crazy is here. Crazy is over here.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put my hand over here.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that is so good.
You
so
want more?
good.
Yeah.
No, I'm good for the I gotta drive eventually. Please drink
Well, I'm
responsibly.
getting an Uber home, so.
Man, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm still eating that barbecue roasted. Rausch, is that the name, right? Rausch beer.
Rausch, House,
Yeah,
yeah.
Rausch beer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it problematic?
Really?
That's something you've never heard of
That's
before,
why
did
I
you?
went to the meat.
Or you had heard of it?
No,
Yeah,
never
and
heard of it.
then
You know me, I
kind
don't
of
really pay too much
roasting, but
attention
actually
on
was the
these
roasting.
things.
So
Unless I
yeah,
get
so
really
it's
deep into it.
You know me,
yeah, it's
I
a
love
good burning
introducing
roasted.
people to stuff.
That's
But
still,
I didn't-
and that's
he's the one
amazing that you're
suggested it, not
still,
me, but I'd
that's
have it,
still
Holy
halfway
Some
through.
point
Yeah,
too,
that's
to
good.
investment, they will
start
get
my,
the
what
Japanese
is it, the
whiskey.
end of the first?
I'll
Yeah.
buy
Third,
that for
yeah,
your,
yeah, no,
Christmas.
It's first
Absolutely.
third, right?
Yeah.
We'll bring it in.
Still feel the
That-
same.
Good.
It's gonna be one you'll
That's
want
really
to
good.
I think you might hate it, but I think it's
My goodness.
I think I've had some, probably.
There's one in particular that I like that I feel like you'll like, but we'll see. It's
What?
delicious. It's like a sweet. It's not flavored, but it's like an actually sweet Japanese whiskey.
Ooh, interesting. Why do the Japanese do everything better?
They're just very particular,
Yeah.
and everything similar to the way we smoke cigars. Everything has like a
Liturgy.
yeah, so to speak. I mean,
Ritual.
it's a ritual, and like even soy sauce, like
Right.
the way they do everything, the fermentation. So like they're prideful people too, right? They want it, and so when they start making Japanese beer, Japanese spirits, whiskey, it's done just like with this level of like finesse and just expertism. That the first time I ever tried it, I was at Total Wine, which is like Costco but liquor.
Yeah.
And you go around and they sample, let you try stuff. And I was talking to a guy and I was like, man, I see this Japanese whiskey all the time. Never tried it. What's different about it? And he's like, well, there's this, and this. But if it were me, you know, I'd buy this one because it's half the cost of this and you can't taste the difference. And he's a good salesman. You know, he sold me on it. I buy the bottle.
And we make $2 more per bottle.
And that's always what it is. You know, I could tell you some BS story of why this is the good bottle for you, but it could be they just make more money on it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I know that I took it home, I tried it, and I immediately was like, wow. It was just really good. So now the only time I buy Japanese whiskey, I buy that same bottle. So it's the only one I've ever tried. So I can't speak on all Japanese whiskey, just this one in particular.
Right.
Since
It's
this,
not crazy expensive either. It's like a $40 bottle.
since this is a puff and drink, and I don't drink alcohol, but I drink other things, right? You'll see the same thing because I know you're just starting navigating the coffee, world. You feel that the more you learn, the more you see that the Japanese are spectacular in developing new methods,
I love their culture.
try new combinations. So you see that. You
Yeah.
see that you will converge everything you're choosing.
I
You will
already
convert to that.
to Japanese or something.
Yes, you will do.
I've
you do
already.
that.
I really love Japanese beer, like light Kirin. For a light beer, I just think
It's
tastes
a
really
good.
It's a good light beer.
Light beer.
And there's something with an S. I can't Sapporo. I can't remember the name of it, but that's
Sapporo.
it might be.
I think that's
Can't remember.
Chinese.
That's really good too. And then the Japanese whiskey. But yeah, I've always liked coffee. I just started diving deeper into the world of coffee and trying to figure it out. But I just got an espresso machine, so I'm gonna try and start making some interesting specialty coffees.
Right.
But I followed that page that you sent me on Instagram,
Uh-huh.
and that just made my brain go.
Oh, you did?
It just opens up the possibilities. You know, you start.
Oh,
adding,
the one I sent you.
You have citrus
My-
zest and lime and orange.
Man,
and
the
brewed
guy-
over
The
watermelon.
watermelon with the
rind,
holes,
and
the
put
holes, you know?
holes in the rind. Like, but I'm just saying, like, it definitely opens the world of the possibilities of things that you can do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was cool.
Anyway, so
I enjoyed that.
yeah. So the
Just yesterday, I watched a video on whiskey, and they mentioned the Japanese whiskey. So, a lot of, like for example, what the guy was selling to you is like you can tell the difference. It was a good whiskey, and what these two whiskey specialists were saying, and they're here in Austin, and they're saying it just happened to be the video, you know. It's from a guy in Dallas, but you know he was here in Austin on these
Wow. Okay.
with these two guys. They own the distillery, and they said normally you get some really good Japanese whiskey, but once that became like kind of famous, and then a lot of people would do Japanese whiskey and then sell it as a Japanese whiskey, and then you don't get all Japanese whiskey are not good. Just some are good, and some are just like trying to get into the market to make money.
Kind of like Wagyu.
Wagyu. Yeah. You get
American Wagyu, Australian Wagyu is not the same as
Japanese A5 Wagyu.
Yeah.
Well, Wagyu is the Japanese word for cow, isn't it? So anything that's Wagyu is
Cow.
inspired by the Japanese doing this process of dry aging beef. So, what I do know about that bottle is it's from Okinawa, and it's the oldest distillery in Okinawa. It's from like the 1800s, like 1860 something. The place that I buy this same bottle from all the time. So I think it's authentic Japanese, but what do I know? I'm just a Texan.
No,
Well,
but that's
it's
but
funny
that's
you
what I'm
say
saying.
that.
For example, that one is a good one.
Could
Right.
be. I don't know. I've been swindled. I've been swindled before. I'm not saying it.
Well,
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, like, for example, that one, the guy was explaining to you, and he wouldn't be lying because he works for a, for the company.
And I've
right?
seen him before. So,
Yeah. And then, but when you see something on the market, like, one of the things that he was saying is like, there is no better time to be a guitar player in the world. You don't make the money that those guitar players or those famous bands do, but if you're happy, that, quote unquote, but what he said, and his words, and it's on YouTube. I can actually even find the link and post it, but I'm not going to.
Sorry about you.
And it's like he quoted that, it's like, if you are okay with making the money of a teacher, but doing what you love doing, like playing guitar, there's no better time, because you can just like play guitar on Instagram and then get followers and get money, or on YouTube videos or whatever. Right. So there's no better time. It's the worst time to be world famous, because it's really difficult to be world famous these days, because you have to put too much money into it, like, to get like likes and followers and whatnot. But there's no better time to have a good income doing what you love.
right.
So, and because of that, all of these distilleries, they actually can sell directly to the consumer. So, and if people don't really investigate well, they can buy things that are not really legit or something like that. Like, they just say, like, you go to a website and they say it's all Japanese. They create a story to say it's Japanese, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all like a fake story. The people are creating fake stories, in order
selling a
to make
product.
it interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
To make the company interesting. You know what I mean?
Does this happen everywhere or just America? Because I feel like America.
I think it's
has-
everywhere. No, he was mentioning something about the world, not
Maybe
America.
it's the
Yeah.
world. Okay.
It's the world.
Maybe it's that market. I just feel like America is so bad about marketing stuff that way. It's just, everything can be so misleading until you do research into it.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I think in other countries it can be just as bad or even worse.
It's the same.
It's
probably
the
the
same.
same.
It is worse when you are affected by it, personally,
Right.
right? And then if you're affected by something, personally, something, let's say, in Finland, and then say, well, Finland is worse than the U.S. But if you've been affected in here, worse than in Finland, then say, no, U.S. is worse. No,
Right.
it's whatever happens to you, and then you feel that way. But I think it's the same.
Right.
It's as bad as.
I was gonna say, I mean, there's so many agencies and not loopholes, but bureaucratic things that you have to follow and do. That if you're not gonna get, I mean, if it is a bullshit story, someone's gonna find out about it and eventually make something about it, and then you're gonna get investigated on, and then your distillery or whatever you own is gonna go
Get shut down.
eventually.
Oregon,
You know.
yeah.
There is one difference though on things in the U.S. and people go like, well, why am I getting fat in the U.S. Right? And then I saw a video because I had too much time this weekend because it was Christmas time, and I didn't have to cook because we were going to a friend's house and the friend was cooking. So, and then I saw this video and then say, well, let's say a Brazilian person gets to the U.S. and then they're used to eating like a stroganoff, or what, something that Konrad mentioned for Christmas time that Juliana wanted to do, right? So, but the cream that you use for stroganoff in here has 4 times more calories than the one that we normally buy in Brazil.
Right.
But we don't find the same one that we buy in Brazil, and then we use the other one in here, in the whipped cream or whatever it's called, right? First, the one in Brazil is about this big, and then the one over here is about that big, and then you're like, oh, let's put some more. But not only that, but the same amount, it has 4 times more calories, and so that's why you get fatter, just because the things that are sold in here are more calories. And then I saw, because of that, the algorithm was just giving me more content on that. It's like ketchup in Europe, it has like 4 lines of ingredients. And over here has like at least 15 lines of ingredients. And none of that is tomato on a ketchup. You know what I mean? It's everything else but. And then the other one is just, you know what I mean? It's
not even regular ingredients either, though. It's like maltodextrin and potassium
exactly.
sulfate.
And those kind of names that are like, why in the U.S. everything is so complicated on the ingredients that we don't know what we're eating.
Yeah.
You have to pay more money. It's ridiculous.
And import.
That is why we shop at Whole Foods. And even at Whole Foods, you have to turn. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single item down to a jar of peanut butter. We turn over and we read the ingredients. And if there's things I can't pronounce, and I don't buy it. So unfortunately, instead of buying the $3 jar of peanut butter, you buy the $8 jar of peanut butter. And it all adds up because it's all organic and natural.
That's why here on the Puff Drink Talk, we are the 2 fatty ones.
There is.
He is not.
I don't know if.
I eat carbs. Okay, I'm not keto anymore. I was. I'm not anymore. I eat kind of anything I want for the most part. Clearly, I'm eating pizza. But I'm just more... I put a lot of energy into when I eat and how much I eat, and I also work out. So no, that's the only reason I'm not fat. It's not because I don't eat carbs and shit. But also, like, if I make spaghetti with like ingredients from Whole Foods, so it's not going to have all of that maltodextrin and xanthan gum and blah. The only thing that you're never going to find that doesn't have xanthan gum in it is almond milk. That's the one thing. Because I don't drink normal milk. I drink almond milk. I don't drink almond milk, but I use almond milk.
But
always going to have xanthan
to
gum.
illustrate that part of the whole that you just mentioned about, in order to get what you want, you have to read the label, and then, oh no, I can't take this one. I have to take the other one. There is a video showing this guy, like 20-second video, doing super fast, and then he shows, no, it's like, okay, it's a free. I want to buy eggs, but the eggs need to be free range.
Yeah.
And then no, it's not only free range, it's
free,
pasteurized. Quality A, and
pasture raised.
Yeah, pasture raised. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. He keeps good. He went like 6 different levels, and then say, hey, you went from 12 eggs costing you $2 to 12 eggs costing you $7.
Yep.
That's
the difference.
Yeah.
And there's different step levels of your meat.
Exactly.
Step 1 through step 4 for chicken, beef, all of these things.
Yes.
The low level ones are the ones that are kept in a barn. None of them are separated. They're all stepping on each other. They got bacteria and diseases growing on their arms because they're pooping on each other and walking in their poop. Same thing with the pigs. And then you get into the higher end step 4 stuff that's all free roam, pasture raised, grazing on grass, and no whatever additives, no pesticides added. It's all that. But yes, it costs more money. So you're going to go from ground beef that costs $5 something a pound to $10 a pound plus for something crazy. So it limits what you buy in terms of how much money you're willing to spend.
How about this energetic drinks?
Yeah,
Have
Red
you seen,
Bull.
like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
When you flip it, like
it's so bad for you.
Yeah, like so many elements.
But is that the same everywhere?
It could have
over here is
battery acid in it. People would still buy it though, and that's what I always say is the thing with America is it's not that. I think it's a problem that things that are better for you are more expensive, but it's not that they go out of their way to make it more expensive. It's that all of these other companies are cutting corners. So if you buy like from H-E-B, pre-grated Parmesan cheese, it has plastic fillings and wood shavings and stuff in there. It's not all cheese. And if you go back and look at it, you'll read the stuff that's in it. Like, what the hell? It's cheaper to buy a block of Parmesan cheese and just grate it.
Yourself,
but why not do that? We're lazy. America we pay extra money for convenience. That's why fast food is so big. That's why we bought pizza instead of making our own food. convenience is what you pay for. So rather than making your own jar or making your own pasta sauce marinara, you're gonna buy the store-bought one. Well, that's gonna have crap in
a
it.
jar of jam like they used to do 50 years ago.
You could jar
That's
and
true.
can all of your own stuff. We're not gonna do that. We buy it from the store. But if you don't pay extra for the ones that are doing it the right way, and that from the consumer, that's what it looks like. It's what it feels like. They're charging me more to get better stuff. Not really. They're just charging what it costs to do something. These other companies are so cheap because they're cutting all these corners that are like, well, we don't need to make sure it has no,
this and that.
Well, this is going to have gluten. This is going to have this. I'm not going to quality control it, and that's why it's going to be cheap,
You use that they go out of the way to make it
more expensive.
No. They actually go out of the way to make it cheaper.
But it's not perceived that way as a consumer, but that is exactly what happens.
Yeah,
and as a
that's
consumer,
exactly
you look at 2 jars of marinara, maybe one's organic and one's not, and it's $3 more. You're like, yeah, it's only $3, but I'm buying, 40 items out of everything I'm buying at the grocery store.
It's $120.
If everything costs $3 more, it's an extra $100. Yeah, and not everything will be 3 more. Something will be 5 more. Something will be $1 more. Something will be 20 more for X, whatever it is, And so people start counting the dollars on stuff, and they're like, screw organic. Why is everybody buying organic? That's stupid. They're charging me more money for that. They put it back on the shelf. And we're too lazy, and it's too expensive. Some people have, a fixed income. They got kids, mouths to feed. They really and genuinely cannot afford to buy the organic stuff that I buy. I can afford it because I don't have kids. If I had kids, I probably wouldn't be able to afford it. And so it's a shitty situation that's created by our agricultural market here in America. But that's the only reason why I'm not 100 pounds heavier than I am, because I don't eat the stuff that has all that extra stuff. I eat the carbs, I eat normal foods. I just don't eat all the extra, whatever it is,
Preservatives,
chemicals and preservatives and processed trans fats, all that crap that's in all of that stuff. I just try. I'm not saying I never eat it. I try not to. If I'm on a crunch on a road trip,
pizza, for example, you're probably eating it.
Of course I'm eating it. That's what I'm saying. I'll never. I'm not that much of a stickler about it. That's like, ew, I would never eat Papa. I'll eat Papa John's. I'll eat Domino's. I don't do it every day. I don't even do it monthly. But when it pops up, of course I'll eat it. It's not that big of a deal to me. But it's because I take care of myself on the day
in the long run
throughout the
yes,
year.
Definitely, yeah, it will make that difference in the long run.
If I was a little bit in worse shape than I was now, I probably would have to say like, no, I can't have the Domino's because I can't. But I
should bloated.
Right now, what the answer should be is I shouldn't, but obviously I will. So that's the only difference. It's the ingredients in our food. We could all eat the same stuff every day. It's not even just carbs. Carbs obviously aren't great for you, but that's not what it is. It's all the trans fat and preservatives and bullshit that's in food in America. But that's what I wonder. Overseas, Europe, there's certain ingredients that are banned.
Yeah,
they're not even allowed.
They're welcomed here.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it in there.
100%.
Your water needs that shit, too.
So that's what made me ask about the marketing thing, because it just seems like clearly here in America, certain things fly that don't fly other places. So, but we do have a problem of selling something to be this, and in reality, it's this,
I have a little question about, because we are already 1 hour and 10 minutes into recording.
Oh, my goodness.
Football.
No retrospective of highlights of the year that happened to you guys. Do you have anything to say about? Because we're going with the New Year's theme in here, like a look back, on things that happened to you that you think it was a good thing for your life.
Well, let me tell you that I can speak for that, right? So 2 hip replacements. Right now, we registered at the Cap 10K, so so it's gonna be in April.
Congratulations!
I can tell you.
Are we gonna go? Is it close by? We can go and support.
Oh,
downtown.
Of course we can downtown.
Okay.
Yes, like one of the I think one of the top 10.
Can we smoke cigars on the street and watch you running?
I don't know. You see, maybe we can add later the policies in there. What we can do, but I don't know.
If you don't ask questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
ask questions. If I don't know,
do I need a license
say sorry.
Nope.
Nope.
You'll eventually get your own answer.
Yeah,
exactly. I tell you what I want you to hear. No,
Yeah.
you 100% can smoke.
Is that false advertising? Jesus Christ, Dylan.
Man, definitely this.
Imagine if I had the GDP of America too. I'd be a dangerous person.
Oh my.
So you
I've been
you
grabbing
like
life
looking
by the-
forward to your run.
Yeah, and it's just about health, right? And
That's good.
That's
that's
exciting, though.
definitely- Yeah, it is. I mean, there's
That's a
so
big
many
step.
others, but I won't speak for more than 30 seconds here, right, guys? But because you guys have to.
But then
always-
hold on. So your highlights is like the hip replacement.
You're not
and then
limited.
what you're looking forward to for next year. Is it the race?
Man, I was still focused on my health. So it's because it's a process. It
Yes.
started 6-7 months ago, so I
So
have
you've
to be
been,
constant.
Training slowly, like going on runs and stuff.
Yeah, there's a group, so I follow some instructions, right? So, but I do yoga. I'm doing other things too.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah, so I'm gonna be focusing on that because it's not like the first 6 months I can get better, but now continuity is the secret. Now, this is what I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's cool, man. I'm happy
that's
for you.
definitely- Yeah. It's I would never expect that. I would say, yeah, I'm gonna get it. What? So if it was like 30% functional before the surgery, I thought I'm gonna be 15, and it'll be fine. But no, it's a completely different thing. Like I'm 25 years younger.
Wow,
This is how I feel.
that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, this is how I feel. Yeah, so that's
Good.
my thing. Yeah. So Kip, I'm gonna be.
That's life changing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be this herald, of health, man, for sure. Bring it to everyone around me. That's what I want to do. Honestly, bring in health. Spread health
Do
to
it.
the ones who want it. Of course, I'm not gonna push in any agenda, right? But definitely, says him smoking a cigar. Right?
It's healthy.
Why
It's
not?
natural.
Because in the long run, man.
Yeah, but you can make a case that that's good for your health.
Yeah,
You
you
really-
can.
you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Conrad, you.
I think this year. Oh, that was a good one, George. Now, and I'm actually going to be piggybacking off of what you're saying
you
as
did,
my
yeah.
main focus.
That's good.
So I lived vicariously through my family for this year. So my wife studied super hard and consistently for over the year to become a nurse. Take her degrees and her experience from Brazil and apply it here to the United States. She passed the NCLEX test and got a job. So it was a lot on
We celebrate.
Congratulations.
yeah, thank
Congratulations,
you. No,
Camila.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
it was difficult not only for her because there was so many birthday parties, things,
She missed so many.
many
events.
things, and it was
Yeah.
just like
I
she's
can
like
only
I just
imagine.
gotta study, and it was hard on me too because I wasn't able to do any of the things that I wanted to do because I worked Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends it was Dad, take the kids, do this
To the event.
to the event, yes,
So that
right.
she could learn.
so that she
study.
could have the house free to study and not worry about us and things like that. So I really lived vicariously through her, getting that milestone done and accomplished for the family. So that was one of the highlights of this year for sure. So I think this next year, I'm not gonna. I hope this doesn't come off as selfish, but I really want to focus on my health a little bit more because I was so focused on her getting everything accomplished for her to get set up that I pushed away and didn't have the time to really focus on me and my, and it's an excuse. You can always find 30, 45 minutes, an hour to go do things. But at the end of the day, when my son's up at 6:30 in the morning. He's just an early riser. And then, at nighttime, it's just like, I just want to have my time to kind of relax.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to fit in the gym to do that, you're just
Wow.
like, hell no. I'm going to sit down and watch a TV. I'm going to play some video games, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think this next year is going to be focusing on health. I'm going to join you on some of these runs, George, that you're
see
going
that?
on. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
for sure, please.
So I'm going to go back to the gym and start lifting weights. I miss doing that. So yeah,
Hey.
that's my focus.
Maybe we go together because I need to start lifting weights too.
Yeah, man.
I've just been doing cardio.
This is
and
good
I
what you
hate
just
it.
said. And I would
I'm
just
not-
add,
I'm not good at
that you shouldn't be so hard,
I hate doing
give so
all
so
of
hard
them.
on yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So because man, altruism, that's what you did. It's health. What you did,
Oh
it's
yeah.
part of that.
no. Yeah.
You know, because we only see the outside, but being altruistic, believe me, right? So it heals.
I know he's
Yeah.
waiting for the payback.
It heals.
That is a long term.
Of course, it's a
Yeah.
nurse, right? For
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
for
know.
It's
health
like a long-term
reasons.
investment.
For health reasons,
The
oh
other day-
my
Exactly.
god.
The other day he
So-
called me.
so
The other day he called me, Hilton.
So
If Camila
good.
calls you asking if I'm sick, you say that I am, right? Because I'm pretending to be sick in here just to get a massage and then some other treatments.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
of course,
So
right?
yeah, hey, there is
That's-
no altruism
It's
in the
part
world.
of the contract.
Dylan, you.
Every time I'm feeling sick, you want to get milked,
Right?
It's like a
Yeah.
cow.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I actually started a new job this year. So that's been the biggest change in my life. I've been dealing with the same. Why are you laughing?
No, because the highlight of this year was having Dylan working with me.
My answer is working with you. I wasn't even playing.
Full circle, man.
No, it
Oh
was.
my god.
I've been,
There's too many things that
Yeah.
happened because
You know how
of this,
life
you know?
gets sometimes when you're like
podcast is
stuck in a
magic.
rut of doing the same thing all the time, and I worked with family, and it just started feeling mentally draining and taxing every day of just like, I don't know, not enjoying where I was at in life and just not enjoying the situation that I was in, I guess. And there was always a way that I could have made it work, but I had to make a big decision to walk away. And it was a big move because I didn't know what was going to happen to me and where everything was going to go from there. But started the job here and got to know everybody, and it's had a huge impact on my life.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
What are you looking forward to next year?
I'm looking forward to trying to spend a lot more time with my family. I got nephews that are growing up and getting older. My parents, people I don't see as much as I probably should. Memories and experiences I don't think I've held on to as much as I should. So I want to try and spend more quality time with family and be more present as opposed to just kind of like going through the motions and just getting by with what's going on around me. You know what I mean? I want to really be present this year.
Yeah.
Guys, I feel so selfish because you guys are so altruistic.
No,
And you're like so focused. You're like,
No,
on how
not at
my
all.
health, my.
No.
but you know what? For me,
It's funny, man. Oh my goodness.
For me, I was gonna say that is like having Dylan starting this year. He started on the very first day of the year. That was his first day.
Really?
Work. Yeah.
Really? I'll be damned.
Yeah, and then on that particular day, we got. I mean, I think when we talked the first time when you walked in was like December around.
Yeah, it was before the new year.
So-
Or before the new year.
Yeah.
Might have been right
for
around
sure.
a week before now or
Week
something.
before now.
Like
Spent
right
way
before
too much time
Christmas.
together.
And then
Oh, the bromance.
no, and then.
It's a tiny little violin. The world's tiniest.
But the thing is, because of these,
Yeah.
right? Too many things happened. Like these podcasts, like that thing led to like me smoking good cigars. Because I told him like I just started smoking some cigars. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so what did you smoke? No idea. I just picked one up, and then I didn't know what it was. I saw somebody grabbing it. I grabbed it. And then was like, okay, and then he gave me some good cigars, and then I smoked it. And so we started like watching about cigars and whatnot. And then we started the podcast. So the highlight of the year, I would say, there was like Dylan coming to work with me, just because that led to so many things that are very nice, in my life and everybody's life, because I do like, these, what we have in here.
Yeah.
I already have another podcast. But and George, goes on that podcast. He's an in-house now on the
Regular.
Brazilian,
Wow.
on the Brazilian podcast. He's not a regular. He's an in-house. You know what I mean?
Right?
So when we started these, it was always meant to be, the podcast is not mine, and the podcast is ours, right? So there is no owner on these podcasts. It's us. We're just using infrastructure that I already had. You know what I mean? But we planned 4 days And then I said, the very first time that we talked about it, it's like, well, there is one person that has to be on this podcast. It's Konrad. And then I said, like, oh, okay, let me ask him. And I sent Konrad a text and say, hey, Konrad, I'm thinking about doing the podcast in English, not like the Brazilian one. And then you would like to join? And then he just replied, sure.
Yeah.
He's like super excited.
3 seconds later.
What day are we recording?
Sure.
I was like, oh, I didn't get to that part yet. You know what I mean? And then he was ready. He was ready.
Oh,
and then he came with tons of ideas and whatnot. It's like, and then first week of football went, and it's like, oh man, we missed that first week. We should have started last week, but we were busy. With something that we couldn't do anything on that week because like I'm so busy. And like, well, let's start next week, for sure. And then so like, Konrad, can you do on that day? Yes, so let's do it. And then that's how it all started. So
the rest is history.
Yeah, and things that I'm looking forward to, I haven't really stopped to think about it. But probably just growing, our podcast, both of them, and selling more floors. I need that. I mean, we've been approved for our green card as well, so we just
congratulations to that.
Waiting for that to come through because it takes a little time of processing.
Wow.
So there are a few things happening on the pipeline to happen. So
Great.
So yeah. I didn't really stop to think about it, but it's, a few things in the works. The life is always very busy,
always
of some sort. But I would say, yeah, that's my thing. So
Cool.
Should we do the battle of the logos, our football thing? Are we done with New Year's Eve?
I am. I think I'm ready for some football.
I'm ready for football. Let's
football time.
Are you really ready for football?
Let's give the floor to Georgie.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
I gotta go to the
What
bathroom.
are we talking about before we talk about our picks today? You tell me.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about something else.
Do we want to talk about history?
Oh, what you're saying about the suggestions?
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you want
suggestions.
to? What do you want
No, it's just that I thought it would be a great way for me to get educated
Yeah.
in the game.
I told you it was about
I had a feeling.
Was
So
that?
that's why I was saying because we were talking
No,
about.
because we were discussing about it. It's like I wasn't sure what you meant. Was I thought there's like probably he wanted to get like some knowledge in. You know what I mean about
Yeah,
football.
and then it would be a little bit more philosophical.
There you go.
Because you'll be you see, like in basketball, you can transfer from sport to sport, but there are some particularities, right? But yeah, boy. So
He's being very, very British right
yeah,
now.
of course. Look at the change.
You can have me proper now.
Yeah, right. So where was I? Yeah, so
What is
A
it that
great
you would
way-
like to know
So
more
because
about?
I see in
football?
basketball, like the eye test for me is more important. Not more important, just as
then
important.
statistics, like numbers would
I
show.
can't go that way. Yes,
Your-
just as important. Like,
Your eye test, like when you
Exactly.
watch them play.
yeah, exactly.
That's
Like
what I'm-
the day I went to 1998 back in Chicago.
The Bulls.
The Bulls,
Michael
the
Jordan.
6th ring, and then I was there once, and man, you could cut the air of fear. This is what the game was. It was a regular game, It was because I couldn't afford the time to go to an expensive ticket,
Sure.
but you could tell that the other
importance.
team that you could tell the fear.
Of the
You
other
could
team.
smell the fear. Just like the players just want to get rid of the ball, or okay, Jordan, just finish what you have to do and let me play my game. This is what I felt
Okay.
back in Chicago.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway,
I would say it is week 17. There is
tough week.
this week. It is a tough week. We have one more week of the regular season before we go into the playoffs, which ultimately lead up to the Super Bowl. So,
Just a question. Why did I had in my mind that it was only 16 games and not because you said 17?
used
Because
to
it's
be.
32 teams,
because it used to
and
be.
they added one neck. It was 36 teams, right?
32 teams.
So I
32,
really have
okay.
to get updated on that.
Yeah, no, that was voted on by the NFLPA Players Association. It used to be a 17-week season with
Yes.
only 16 games. Everybody gets a bye.
Right.
And then they all voted on and agreed for a 18-week season with 17 games. So now
Okay.
there's one more game than there used to be. Part of that agreement, I believe, was trying to argue for the players to be able to partake in marijuana and be able to.
Is that true?
100% true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So part of their argument was that marijuana doesn't affect the game. The THC helps players recover, but it's not like steroids. It's not whatever. They have to take drug tests and all this stuff. So they were trying to get rid of that. And the lobbying that went on, it was like, okay, we'll give you that, but we want an extra game. And so shook hands, and that's how that happened. There's actually talks going forward that this will continue to happen. That we'll maybe have a 19-week, 18-game season. I mean, we don't know. But as these weeks keep going on, they're going to have to add it'll probably be an 18-game, 20-week season or with 2 bye weeks. Or there's all sorts of talks because similar to baseball, basketball, the more games there are, the more airtime on TV, the more sponsorship.
Value.
Every time there's an extra game, it's more money. So, but it's really taxing on the players and their health and the wear and tear that they're going through throughout a full season. Every game you add.
But also give them opportunity for a team that is not doing well, or they're like just not doing well, but like they did well, they did like mediocre kind of thing, but they could, get a step on and then recover and just
But they're-
get through.
Yeah, yes, and
It's one or two
idea
more
of that,
opportunities.
yes. Weird thing that goes on in the NFL, which might also be in other sports, is that the way that the following season and the draft pick is figured out is based off where you finished.
Mm-hmm.
So the team with the least amount of wins and a lot of losses
NBA is just like that too.
would end up getting the first draft pick. So around this time of the year, you get a lot of what is referred to as tanking. Teams that have been doing bad all year, it's actually in their interest to continue to lose because if they end up in 32nd out of all 32 NFL teams, if they're number 32 in last place, they will get the very first round first pick, which is often the biggest player, the quarterback coming out of college that everybody, the Drake Mays of the world,
My first
Do you want more ice?
No,
my,
just water.
my first
I
point
could
to what
get,
you said.
one full glass of ice and then
No, I'm
one
okay.
more ice.
No,
my
okay.
my first take here is regarding the number of games being played more. You said maybe up to 20, right?
It could end up
Yeah.
being that way.
So we've already started this conversation, but definitely the next negotiation, if it gets to 20, is going to be load management.
Probably.
Because then it's going to be I go for
yeah.
one side, so no. Okay, so my negotiation, okay, I will keep playing 20 games if, and then you put it, whatever you have to do it
Well,
for
and
the
so load-
old athletes especially. Right?
And I think load management has been something the NFL has done before in the past. You're going to see that in week 16, 17,
You'll
and
see
18.
it right now.
You'll see that a lot now. It already started happening this last week. A lot of teams were already in positions of being in the playoffs. They're like, okay,
Can they do
Third,
that
Which
though?
one?
Yeah.
Honey.
Because in
Yeah, they
NBA they can't.
right. But
Why? You have to start your starters?
Think about it. You go there. Let's say
But
that
not this-
let's say I'm from Greece, and then I'm visiting Dallas that weekend. I buy a $400 ticket. I buy a $400 ticket to see Luka,
Just see Luka, yeah.
and then I get there. Oh, what's going on? No, there's nothing wrong with him. It's just that we are managing his loading. So then you say.
Is it a rule that you can't do
Yes.
that, or just that
No, you
they
can't.
don't do it?
No,
you literally cannot do it.
There are a lot of penalties, and they are very heavy.
Wow. Okay.
They're
No,
getting
that's
heavier and heavier and heavier now.
not the same at all with the
And
NFL.
then the players want to reduce the number of games. But then business says no, you can't be using
So
games.
does that's an interesting. So you start, but is there a certain amount of minutes that you have to play in the game to be able to not receive the penalty?
There are many, yeah. So you're
There's
getting,
all sorts of
there are,
stipulations.
layers, right? So
Tiers of rules.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. But one of them is that the most common type of load management is when you have like back-to-back games. It's just
Sure.
two. So this is where they do, and they know that. So what happens with the ticket? What happens with the whole business of the second game? It's much less. Like, so they don't want it to happen for
Okay.
the reason I told you, right? So
Money.
Yeah.
It all comes down to
So
money.
think about the pressure from from very touristic cities,
Sure.
where a large part of tickets are more expensive, and they are there because of foreigners going there. So there are lots of interests going on. So I will count on your expertise of the load management to guess today my teams. Okay. Yeah, because you just gave me something.
Last week,
That is.
they
I'll
almost
give you
guessed
more as
all
we
of
go.
your games. They almost guessed 100% the game the team you picked
What do you mean?
last week.
Okay.
Before he revealed your picks, I
Yeah.
was trying to guess what you were going to pick.
Oh yeah.
All both of them, and then I mean,
Both of us.
Konrad only got it wrong on his own game, which
Seattle.
was Seattle, and you picked against him.
Oh yeah. No, I picked Seattle.
He
No,
picked-
no,
we
he
were
didn't.
We were
Yeah.
guessing to see what he was going to be because he wasn't here. He was texting.
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
So
yeah.
we would guess, and then he would tell us afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they almost got it all right.
Yeah.
It was very predictable.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you would pick the best record. If it was a tie in records, you would pick the home
team.
The home
I'm
team.
conservative.
Yeah. But did I change my pick for the Raiders and Chiefs, or did I keep it as the Raiders? Because I know I
No,
was
you
going.
said Chiefs. We swept the Chiefs, but you did pick. You were the only person, I believe, that picked the Patriots. Maybe if not, Hilton was the only person that picked the Patriots. You were the only person that picked another team.
I thought it was the Raiders Chiefs. I think it was the Raiders Chiefs.
No,
game.
I know it's not that one because you 100% started off with Raiders and you went back to Chiefs. There is
Yeah, I
another
know.
matchup. There's
and
another
that's
matchup.
what pisses me
Because
off.
listen,
Because the Raiders won that goddamn
Really?
game.
as
They
a
beat the
Yeah, the
Chiefs.
Raiders
as a
won.
novice,
Yeah.
right?
Possible.
As a novice,
Possible.
as someone who's just started, I have to play with the tools I have for now.
Oh,
the
yeah,
time
no.
available for me.
No, yeah.
So as you guys enlighten me
Yes.
on the sport played with the hands, but it's called with the food, right? So
Well, and that was
right?
it. So, in the,
yeah,
the,
so thank you.
the Chiefs Raiders
It's
game.
a running Brazilian joke.
With the Chiefs Raiders game, I'll explain the thought process. I
Yeah.
picked the Raiders to win.
It was Raiders scratched out Chiefs.
Damn it! Damn it! Son of a bitch. So I picked the Raiders because they're in the same division. You're going to have 4 teams in each division.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you have a division game, it's more important for those teams to play the best because that has playoff implications.
Sure.
So if you have the same record of someone in the same division, but you've beaten more of the teams in the division,
Mhm.
and this other team has lost to more teams in your division, you're going to go to the playoffs.
Sure.
Because you're better
It's an
in
advantage.
your area.
Yes.
Yeah, you're better. So, anytime that it's a division game, the Chiefs and Raiders, they're in the same division. It's always hard to pick which one is better, which is why I picked
I didn't
the Raiders.
know about this rule. This is like it's a
And-
game changer.
And you only get so many of those. So
Yes.
if there's
They
4,
only play twice.
It's not it.
One team.
there is 4 teams per division, right?
Mhm,
So there's 4 divisions in the NFC, 4 divisions in the AFC. Those make up all 32 teams.
Right.
So in one division, you play there's 4 teams. So you play the other 3 teams 2 times each throughout the entire season.
Right.
Yeah.
So that makes up 2, 4, 6 of your 17 games. That's all you get besides your regular record. Then it goes to those 6 games. What's your record in the division?
Right.
And then
It's
it
a
goes to what's your...
criteria. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
And
for
then if that's
classification,
tied,
right? Okay.
then it jumps
Yes.
down to another thing, which
Definitely.
is like, I think it goes to the whole conference, NFC versus AFC wins. Then it jumps down to strength of schedule, points for, points against, all this stuff,
Yes.
to where it'll go
All
down.
different criteria.
If
right?
everything's tied, for long enough, it'll end up going all the way down to a coin toss to decide
Yes.
who goes to the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
Which never happens, but I just think that's
Because there's so many layers. I mean,
Yeah.
because there's so many layers, it never
Yeah.
gets there. But I just
Yeah.
think how cool would that be, and how pissed
in
would someone
soccer
be?
is more common because it's like fifth. It's the fifth one. It's a
Right.
race.
Coin?
So you know, yeah. So
It's like the 12th or something.
yeah, but
Or maybe a 7th.
actually, to go that way, I wanted to go that way. You know, like if someone is going to these levels, okay, let's do the coin. You
Yeah.
know?
I just think of myself like if my team lost because of a coin flip. Oh my god, I'd be so mad. But
Yeah,
you
I
only
know.
would have gotten there because your team didn't do what they needed to do on the 11 steps prior.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's fair, but it's a ridiculous rule. But I was gonna ask if there were any specific questions about anything going into the week before it started. This time of the year is different. At the beginning of the year, all that stuff's kind of interesting because everything's new.
Right,
Some
so-
teams from the year before you expect to be great, and then they don't. Right now, we kind of know a little bit of everybody, who they are, how they've played, and some of these games are super important. Some don't matter at all. Like this one, Jets Browns doesn't matter at all. No matter what the Jets do, they
Yeah.
will not make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what the Browns do, they're already in the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
So there's
So how do you know who is who in the playoffs now? 10 wins probably. It's playoffs.
I know because I've looked into it, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
if you ask, and if
Right,
Yeah.
10 wins basically. We
can do it two ways. We can
Yeah.
either just do picks, or if you want more information,
We
just
can do the
ask.
cheating way. That I consider cheating just to make it fun, but it's not cheating.
I am
because we
only
already
gonna,
discussed about it.
I'm only going to give information if asked.
Okay, so let's do the battle of the logos.
Alright.
Talk about the logos.
Week 17.
Come on,
Best
week
name.
seven.
Week
of
17.
the whole podcast.
Man,
here.
this season has gone by way too fast.
Yep.
And
Yeah, it's flying.
This is so sad. All right.
Christmas down.
Second to last time for the regular season.
Yep.
Let's do this. We have the New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns.
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 Yeah, Browns.
Keep in mind, also, don't want to throw any extra pressure out there. This is you have 2 weeks
I'm
to
gonna
try
go
and
Jets.
jump as many picks as you possibly can. Hey, you have nothing to lose. Even if you go like opposite of us every single pick and you get them all wrong, you have nothing to lose because you got to do whatever you can to try and pass Hilton.
Yeah.
So how many points have I? I mean, you haven't looked into it.
I don't know the exact number, but I know for a fact I had on the entire year, the whole season, I'm only 2 ahead of you.
And
Wow.
I'm probably about 1 or 2 ahead of Konrad.
No, because I think 11. I'm 11 ahead of Konrad, which makes you 9 ahead of Konrad, and I'm
Really?
2 ahead of you. So you have to really make some moves over the course
Yeah.
of 2 weeks.
That's why I'm going to go for the Jets.
Jetties.
How do these teams behave when they're already? Because you said the Browns are already.
They're already in the
They're in
playoffs.
the
So
playoffs, right?
that
So-
comes down to like load management, so to speak.
Yeah.
This team, they're $100 million, so to speak, players. Why risk it? I don't know. No one said anything that they're not going to play, but why?
Of course.
Why go out of your way and risk injuring one of these guys? Even if they could heal up over the offseason, why risk it?
Right.
They could win out this week, next week. They've been eliminated. So it doesn't matter. So they're playing potentially for pride. And sometimes playing for pride.
And does it affect the draft? For
So
example?
what happens there, George?
Yes.
Is like
Yes,
the Jets.
it also affect the drafting, right?
It'll
The
affect draft order.
Yes,
Like
sir.
if they continue to lose,
Uh-huh.
that technically helps them in the draft order
Yeah.
as opposed to winning. The coach, there's so many levels that go
Yes.
into this.
Mhm.
The coach for the New York Jets, if he loses out from here, he could be on the chopping block and get fired because this entire season has not gone the way that
There are
others.
so many aspects you have to.
So there could be reasons why you want to lose, and there could be reasons why you want to win, and a lot of it's like I'm going to draw it up and let the players play because it's not all up to the coach and the scheme. The guys still have to go out and win.
Yes.
But both of these teams have gone through.
Maybe the management of the team also would have a say on that because they go like, well,
100% they
yeah.
do.
let's
They do.
okay, so we didn't do well. You're gonna get fired anyway. So let's just get to the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not risk any players. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. You know, you're getting fired anyway
And
when it
losing-
gets to the end. Or
Right.
And maybe
let's
losing even
plan
better.
for next year, and you're not gonna get fired or something like that.
Right.
You did the best you could. Something happened. It's not out of our control and whatnot. And then, you know, they may decide that, because it doesn't matter if they win twice now, it's 8 and 9. So they still have more losses than wins. So probably they haven't got scored so many, you know, as many points as they would have to be able to classify. So they're already out anyways.
Both of these teams have gone through so much adversity through this season already. It's unbelievable that this team is still in it. Both of these teams have lost their starting quarterback for the season. He's gone. They've had backups come in. This team is on their third or fourth backup. And he just came in. He's been sitting. He's a veteran. He's a really good. He used to play for Baltimore. Joe
40
Flacco.
years.
40 years old.
Yeah, sure.
He's been sitting on his couch all season long. Gets a call, goes and tries out. He got a shot. Started. He's throwing touchdowns, and he just broke a record. He just broke a record last weekend. Amari Cooper,
the right
most
person at the
yards
right time.
Yeah.
This is the.
So all that is to say, they are humming right now.
Yeah. So
this team is playing for pride. I don't know. Browns are at home. My vote's the Browns.
Browns, please.
Browns could so easily lose this game, and it's not important to them either. So this time of the year, as I was telling them, some of these matchups, like a Browns-Jets game, may never interest you week 2. This week,
but it could be interesting.
It gets a little bit more interesting because there's more on the line for one team or the other.
And I actually can watch, so I probably will.
Yeah.
And this one game in particular, again, it's one of the ones where there's not a lot on the line. Let's move to Saturday. We have the Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. Again, one of those games that doesn't really have much because the Detroit Lions are not only guaranteed to go to the playoffs, they've clinched their division. They're the top of their division.
Right.
So they are guaranteed at least the 4th seed. So they're going to have at least one home game.
What is that for the Cowboys right now?
What's
that for them?
The Cowboys have clinched the playoffs, so they're going no matter what.
But not their division.
And not the division. And in order to win our division, we need a lot of different things to happen. We need Philly to lose the next 2 games. We have to win the next 2. All these things have to happen.
Yes.
And I don't think it's reasonable to assume that it will. And I think Dallas is going to go into this game really trying to win, but they're not going to put anybody in jeopardy to win the game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, for example, they don't need to risk anybody to get injured for the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl.
But the Lions do.
But that's
the same for the Lions.
100%. It's both teams.
So in that way, it could be a frank game.
So I'm going to be the first one to pick just because I respect you. So I'm going to go for the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys.
Same here.
Okay. I'm going to take the Lions to go fuck themselves.
Cowboys.
Yes,
Although
Cowboy.
this is, I mean, last week it was Dolphins that I've been supporting, you know, through in the beginning of the season against the Cowboys, right? And then I was like, okay, Cowboys. Because Cowboys, because of Dylan and also, Dallas, so I like the Cowboys. And then now it's the Lions, and I've been saying that the same thing, since the beginning when we started it.
That is
It's
true.
like it's one of my teams. The Lions is one of my teams. Like,
I'll tell you, dude, they're a formidable opponent, and if anybody could win, why not them? Seattle could have won. Philly already beat us. Arizona beat us. Miami beat us. Buffalo beat us. Why can't Detroit beat us? I would rather get these losses out of the way now.
Yeah.
Let's learn from them and go to the play. None of this matters to either team.
yeah, the playoffs is much more important. Like Konrad,
Dylan,
like,
I just
the
love
perspective,
Dylan
right?
getting
Are there any rivalries there that does it play any right now, for example? Because in soccer, right, it doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah.
So-
I will never,
yeah.
ever lose. Get it now, okay? I would never.
Right.
As a gremista, I would never. It could be any kind of game.
It could be
Any kind of game.
for him. Gremio could be the last position of the championship.
But they're still
and-
going to beat Inter.
Yeah, and international could be the first one. They still want. Doesn't matter if they win or lose. They're already not classified. They will try and.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then this is
I know.
dangerous. This can be rivalry. Can be very dangerous.
I don't see any teams up
No,
There
Okay.
will be the next game. Big rivalries almost always happen inter-division.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So-
Region,
Oh, yeah, that's
regionally,
right.
right?
Right.
Which is going to jump, not the next game, but the next. So next game we have the Miami Dolphins at the Baltimore Ravens. This is teed up to be probably one of the better games of the slate.
But both teams are already in the playoffs, and Ravens are number 1, so they could cruise.
And I'm looking over in the
I'm gonna watch this one.
over in the AFC. It'll be interesting because I don't know the answer to this. Both of those teams. Let's say Miami wins. They will both be 12-4. They're both in the AFC, and they're in separate divisions based off of strength of schedule, how many points you've scored throughout the year. One of the, I don't know, is Baltimore still the number 1 seed, or does that move Miami to the number 1 seed?
Okay.
So number 1 seed and gets a first-round bye, and then home games for playoffs the entire way.
Wow.
If they continue to win, of course.
So it's a huge advantage.
Huge
Yeah.
advantage.
Right?
They'll always have home games.
Yes. Okay.
So,
Same thing for them.
they
It's
are
gonna be a
NBA.
tough game. This one.
So I don't know for
Well,
sure,
yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, I don't know
potentially
why.
playing for the number 1
I'm
seed.
gonna let Dylan tell what my pick is on this one.
We're both going to be on the Birds.
Birds.
The Ravens.
Mhm.
I'm a bird supporter.
You're playing
And
home?
also, I just think Miami is like, and it.
Oh, my eyes are killing me.
Sorry, I'll move this milk this way.
Oh, it's okay.
I personally am putting Miami on fraud watch. I think they're a fraud team.
Mhm.
They
Okay.
skated by with a win last week. No, they're a bunch
Because they
of.
beat the Cowboys. They're on fraud watch.
Yeah, I'm putting them on fraud watch.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of fucking frauds.
Yeah, I would feel
Everybody
the same,
wanted to
right?
crown them like they won the Super Bowl because they beat the Cowboys. I'm glad that's your biggest game of the year is that you beat the Cowboys by 2 points at home in December. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens are a much better team, and I think the
Pretty
Ravens might win the
much.
Super Bowl this year. Yeah.
I would say that if I have this record that the Ravens have, if I'm playing home and I know that's gonna give me advantage later to play every single game at home, I would
Play hard.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say, see, this one I need to win this one because it's a statement. It's also a statement for everyone.
So
Every
you're
single
finally
one.
supporting
actually-
a bird for the first time.
Bird!
That's a good
George
point that
supports
you
the
make
bird.
because that
First
is
time.
it is a big statement.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to establish their dominance.
Yes,
That's the way to
Sure.
do it. So you're on the Birds.
I am. Yes, I am with the Ravens. Yeah.
I'll go Ravens.
Okay. Ravens. All right, so here we have what you might consider a rivalry. I'm pretty sure the Patriots are already eliminated from playoff
Yeah.
contention, so it doesn't matter.
Yes.
But they're both in the NFC East, so they would normally play each other very hard. Don't let that fool you, though. Buffalo is fighting for a playoff spot,
Yeah.
so
They have to
they
win.
have to win this game. So if Buffalo doesn't win this game, they're gone. It's a home game in Buffalo. I just don't see how you take anybody but the Bills.
I think
Yes,
when we looked into
saw
that,
that, yes. Same to me.
last week, every single team that would be 10
There's 10-5
That's
at
what
the
I
time.
mentioned before.
was 10 and 5,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
every single team that would finish 10 and 7 would potentially be
Eligible in,
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
but they're
So if they're 9, so that's actually is either do it now or go for the very last straw, which is next week. So
Exactly.
they
But-
gotta do it now.
They might
Buffalo.
play away.
Interesting.
Which they might play away.
interesting tidbit though.
Yeah, I don't know the schedule.
In the AFC East is the Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Jets.
Yes.
So the Jets
Out.
the Jets are out, the Patriots are out. It's Dolphins, Bills. Look, they're behind 2 games.
Yes.
So let's say Miami loses 2 games and they win 2 games, they will both finish 11-6.
Yes. The same
Inside the division, could potentially the Bills win the AFC East instead of
Yes.
Miami. There's so many things that I don't even know if that's possible, but I think it could be possible. I really don't know, but I know for a fact they have to win. They can't.
Yes, I would take the Bills. Yeah.
They can't fuck around and
Me.
find out by not trying. They're gonna have to win.
I don't even have to say, right? So because you guys you
Yeah.
got my picks.
Bills.
100%.
Me too.
It's a
Right.
good buffer if they lose to be like, well, we have 1 more week. But no one goes into this week thinking like,
No.
oh, we'll mess around and then
They gotta
They're
do it.
trying to do it now.
And
They
but
gotta do it.
how
now
is
before
the-
the last week?
how is the franchise well known? The Bills, like what are they known for? Because they are
Strong
best.
fan base.
Oh yeah,
The
right?
Buffalo Bills,
Yes, Buffalo Bills.
they have fans that they're well known for setting up those foldable white tables, and they stand on the roof of their trucks, and they jump through the tables onto the ground. They drink like crazy. They have things called bildos, which is
It's a spectacular name, right?
it's a dildo
yeah,
that they
I know.
sneak into the
Oh,
field,
that's not nice.
into the stands, and when crazy stuff happens, they start throwing dildos on the field.
Oh my god!
And they're
This is
referred to-
way wider than I thought. Oh my
They're
god!
referred to as bildos.
I thought it was their names, you know, like.
And that's why,
No,
oh my
no.
god!
and, I mean, I'd take one team. My one team, obviously, is the Cowboys. But if I take an AFC team, it would be the Bills.
Okay.
I love Josh
Sure.
Allen, and I love the compassion of those fans. It is crazy, and it's in Buffalo, New
Yeah.
York. It is so cold, upstate New York.
Yeah.
They're out there
right
in
on
the
Niagara
snow,
Falls.
shirtless and shorts, jumping through tables, throwing dildos, and going crazy.
Or
Awesome
also third,
fan base.
or so all the third teams I could ask, I went straight that one.
That
oh my
was the
god!
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm in, man.
You asked about the blinders. They have they throw up terrible towels. No,
Yes.
Buffalo throws dildos on the field.
Probably
That's their
my
thing.
subconscious.
That's their thing.
Because the name, I don't know. Probably I've already heard about the culture, and then I asked you to confirm. You know.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
they're my favorite team out of the AFC for sure. They have been to a few Super Bowls, but they have never won a Super Bowl. I think both back-to-back years when they went to the Super Bowl, they played the Dallas Cowboys and lost to the Dallas Cowboys. Moving on, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Chicago Bears. NFC North has been really interesting. You have a clear standout with the Detroit Lions, and then you have the Bears, and the Packers, and
Vikings.
the Vikings. And they're all kind of, up until this point, they have been neck and neck.
Like, for example, this one is the same one. It's like, no, not the same one. But, for example, go back a little bit. Yeah.
Well, here, just so you can see, the Bears are 6-9.
So the Bears have to win.
They have to win, and this is
Yes.
why. The other two people in their division are playing each other. 7-8, 7-8.
Wow, it's so close. The 4 teams, right?
So they have to win just to tie one of these two teams' records, and one of these two teams obviously has to win unless they tie.
But play devil's advocate, so does Atlanta, the Falcons, because they're 7-8, and the Buccaneers are the number 1 seed of their division at 8-7.
NFC South, yeah.
So if the Falcons,
That's
That's a
only-
different division.
That's
but
the
yes.
only one that they may not need to go up to 10 wins.
I would
to
just say-
classify, yeah.
but they have to,
fear was
but they have to
exposed.
win. Yeah, they have to win.
They
Right,
have to
right,
beat the
yes,
Bears.
yes.
The Bears have to beat them. So that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. This is one of
Yeah.
those games, a Falcons versus Bears game, week 4. I might watch because of
Nobody-
fantasy
nobody
football,
cares.
but I'd never be that interested in it.
How about injuries?
This year, lots of injuries. So the
Yes.
Falcons have a new-ish, he's been there for a while, but it's a new quarterback that they're working with. The Bears, injury-wise, have been okay. They're just kind of figuring themselves out. On paper, the
They-
Bears probably should win this game on paper. Will they? I don't know.
They just had a pedophile coach.
That's in these days, you know what I mean?
One of their coaches got arrested for.
Oh, so
Well, did you hear about the coach for the Bills and what he was talking about not too long ago?
No,
Okay.
we'll have to save that for a rainy day.
He had a motivational speech about 9/11,
Oh yeah. That's,
and I never heard the speech. I think he was just trying to like fire up the team, you know. It's
but
like
that's kind of a wrong way of
the way
looking
the
at it.
terrorists had to like work together to take over the plane and do all of that. I doubt that's what he said, but that's all the memes that are coming out about the conversation.
how come no one's just tackle him? You know, in this situation, you know, like.
Because it's your coach, and you're just kind of like waiting. Maybe,
Yeah.
But
everyone's
he's gonna
kinda
love
like
you.
a
He's
shot.
gonna love you if you do that.
Yeah.
He's gonna hate you for a year,
Yeah,
but he's gonna love you.
Sean McDermott. But
All right.
I'm gonna go Falcons. I think they're gonna pull up an upset
Yeah.
on the road.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Birds, but I like the Bears.
yeah, I don't know. I'm stuck. This is out of all the matchups. This is a very important matchup for both teams.
it's
Falcons actually have a better chance of actually going to the playoffs than the Bears do. Because even after the Bears win, they're going to tie the losing record of one of these two teams.
Yes.
So then they still have one more game to try and find a way. And they need some other teams to lose. They need help.
Yeah.
So it's some teams, what we call, they control their own future, which means they win and they're in. Some of these teams need help from other teams losing. And the Bears,
even if they win both.
Also,
even if they win both. And the Bears are probably one of them.
Does the Falcons play at home?
No, the Bears. It's going to be in Chicago.
No, I'm talking about in the next round.
That I can look it up, but I don't know. Offhand, I don't know.
I would take the Falcons on that one.
All right.
Yeah,
Another bird.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Another bird
another
support,
bird.
yeah.
Yeah, see.
Finally.
No, I'm.
Because
Because if I was so
I was about to
predictable.
fire you from this podcast.
Yeah.
I was
You're
so
not picking
predictable.
up on what we're doing.
Yeah. But I even suggest a Larry Bird somewhere in the picture with the bird. Bird is the word.
Bird.
We have the mascot. We have the song. You see that? Yeah. So
We
yeah.
incorporate all of those.
Because
I think I'm gonna go with the birds. I'm a bird supporter.
and you just said I'm so predictable. I have to add a few
Well, finally.
more variables.
I'm glad you picked it up.
All right. Another sweep.
Is you going birds? Really? I really thought he was gonna go. Bears.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So too.
That's
I did.
why I said on paper the Bears might win, because I thought y'all might pick the Bears. If I swayed you to pick, I was always going to pick the Falcons.
Oh, so I
Okay.
have to watch out for that too.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's another
okay,
thing.
So
Never
there's a
believe
mind,
at first.
mind games
Oh, yeah.
here.
There's always
Yeah.
some.
Yes.
There's always
Mind
some joke and mind games.
Well, there is
Uh-huh.
validity to that statement. On paper,
I was
they
so
should
naive.
win. Will they?
No,
I don't think
I
so.
felt
but on
so
paper,
naive
they
now,
should.
man. Seriously.
We have the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans. Another divisional
Well,
matchup.
Texans.
Tennessee Teslas
Tennessee Teslas.
against
Texas.
I mean the Texans.
Texans.
Yeah. Oh,
Titans are out, and it is a divisional matchup, so this could matter.
Texans have to win if they.
Well,
want
you
to
have
keep their-
Texans and Jags. I don't know what their divisional win versus loss is versus what the Jags divisional win
Yeah.
versus loss is.
But the Titans, I think about the draft.
But that being said, the Titans could be thinking about. I'll tell you, a team that's thinking about the draft right here is the Panthers. But
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
it could actually be really on top of just wanting to win. The Texans are on the outside of the bubble, looking in right now. They're not in. They're not in the only 7 from AFC and NFC, so 14 teams.
Just
They're
a
in the hunt,
question.
though.
They are in the hunt, but they're on the outside of the bubble where they have to make some moves to get in.
I don't want to get into the flow,
They
but
have to win both games, and something has
just
to
a
happen.
question in
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Unless if they need to win both games and they need Jacksonville to lose,
Yes.
not just
Which
to
is
get
not
in,
gonna
not just to
happen.
get in, but they need that to win the division. But there's another way where they don't win the division and they still get in.
Land Rovers will
But-
get through, my
But I'm taking Texans.
my question to
I'm
you guys.
taking Houston.
No, Texas.
I like-
Texas.
He's taking Houston.
I'm taking Houston.
This
Oh.
guy's he's learned some stuff over the course of the
Oh,
past
right.
Come on.
16 weeks. He's
Yeah.
learned. Okay.
Sorry, what was your question?
No,
George,
the
ask
yeah,
a question.
sorry.
the question
What is the
was,
question?
was about the draft. Okay, so is it like, because in the NBA there's a lottery, then there's a percentage that each team can get the first, second, third draft. It's not like okay, the 4, 5 worsts, they get more,
Like the top 5
20%, 16%, 10%, to get it. So just in order,
It's just in order. So the Panthers are guaranteed the number 1 because they're the worst
31, 29.
But the thing is that you also have to consider is a lot of teams
yeah,
also
negotiate.
trade
Yes,
players and be like, I'll give
Picks,
you
right.
2024
Mhm.
first round pick. And
Yeah.
if they're the worst, that could be pick number 1. So there's a lot of other factors into it as
Yes,
well.
okay.
But
So
in
you have the
theory-
contracted players, and then you
In
have
theory,
the picks that
It
come
looks
through.
like this. This is only 5, not 32 teams.
Yes, I got it.
Get it up.
Yeah, so yeah.
But just so the person who is in last place, 5th, 32nd, will move up to the first slot of the draft. The person who ends up winning the Super Bowl in the first, this is only for the first round,
Yes.
will move to the last pick. So that's the way it's structured for the first round only. Also, teams will trade, and so like I have a quarterback that I
They
we'll
made
trade to
money,
you
and then they get a really
for
good upcoming guy.
this
Yeah.
player.
2027 pick.
Or it's like,
Well,
I have a really valuable guy, and you're giving me like a medium value guy. I want the medium value plus a pick.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what Denver did for Seattle when they drafted, or when they
Traded for Russell.
Russell Wilson. They gave multiple first-round picks.
Yes.
So whatever Denver's first-round pick was, wherever they landed in that year, they gave it to Seattle for Russell Wilson.
And so they get the pick. And
Same mechanics.
And so
Yes.
after time passes, sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's 5. But you
Right.
get to see how some of these trades, who got the better end of that deal.
Yeah.
And so right now we're getting a live look at that with Russell Wilson and the Broncos. He just got benched. And he's not going to play for the next 2 weeks because he has a clause where he gets like an additional 30-something million, maybe 50 million, something crazy, if he gets injured. So they're choosing to not play him.
Yeah. Okay.
So that he doesn't
Another
get injured
element.
and they don't have to play him.
Sure.
And next year, he's fully guaranteed $39 million
And he plays for the Broncos.
for the
Yes.
Broncos.
And Broncos suck.
Broncos
So
suck. We hate the Broncos.
The Broncos. That's another thing.
We
So,
like Russell Wilson, though.
Yeah, we do.
We
He's
just
okay
hate the
guy.
Broncos.
He's okay, yeah.
He's a good person. And hell, he's a good football player. He's just
Yes.
annoying
Yes.
sometimes. Not as annoying as that team is. Broncos suck. We fucking hate them.
We don't like the
Wait,
Broncos.
where does this hate come from?
It comes from history.
Deep inside my
Yeah.
loins.
Oh my God!
It comes from the gut. It comes from the gut. You know what I mean? And it doesn't go. It doesn't go from the gut
Does
down.
it go for all of you like this?
Yeah.
This hate?
We share that.
I think so. I don't remember.
I think our hatred is so strong that it bleeds through us
Yeah.
and it just starts wearing off on other
Man,
people's
I'm
bodies.
just hating here too.
Finally, he's getting the spirits of it.
We don't like Broncos, man.
Yeah, Broncos.
We
No
like
Broncos.
Clydesdales.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
First
all
you
right.
hate, then you learn why.
Or we're
I got it.
hating.
I got
Yeah,
the
you're
rule.
sweet.
people.
I got it.
All right, we are on to the Las Vegas Raiders at the Indianapolis Colts. Big game. This is a big game. Both of these teams are in the hunt. Raiders need some freaking help, though. They have to win both games this week, next week, and they need some help. Colts, they are in the same division right here as the Texans. AFC South is tight. Look, Texans, Colts, Jags, 8-7, 8-7, 8-7.
Yeah.
AFC South right now is one of the tightest divisions. All of these teams. The only team that is out in the AFC South is the one team that sucks in the AFC South. It's the Titans.
Yeah.
So this game is more important than these games because the Texans need that division win. But both of these teams in the very last week, week 18, if I'm not mistaken, they at least one of them probably do have a divisional matchup. So it'll end up evening out.
I'm going Raiders.
I think I'm going to take the Raiders on the road because they just beat the Chiefs. They have some energy. If they lose, they're eliminated.
Are they in a streak or just 2 games? Or
They lost. They've had a lot of adversity this year too. They've had injuries. Their head coach got fired in the middle of the season and brought on a new guy. The culture's been changing. A lot of guys really frustrated and seemingly like in the middle of the season it felt like
Right.
they gave up. Like they were just, and then they started winning a couple, and it kind of lit a new fire underneath them. And then they lost again, and then they've gone on a run. Last week they beat the Kansas City Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
an entertaining game.
not even particularly close at the beginning. I mean, there was a pick six. He threw multiple interceptions. Patrick Mahomes. It was just completely not characteristic of the Kansas City Chiefs. But if you don't look at it under that lens, you just look under how the Raiders been performing. That is a very big statement-making game for them.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of those guys on that team probably got a lot of confidence from it. We just beat the last year's Super Bowl winners. That's who we just beat.
Again,
In December.
division. They're
Yeah.
in the same
And their
division.
division rivals. So that in and of itself is like a rivalry game. That's what you were talking about earlier. Like a team every single time you will do anything it takes to beat that team. That's how the Raiders would have played the Chiefs.
Are they? Do
These
you consider
two are-
any content?
These
are they
two with
really?
each other, no. But Las Vegas, if they lose this game, they're out. They're going home for the rest of the year.
The Raiders.
So Raiders have to win this to stay in. Colts, depending on what happens with these other two teams, might have a little bit of flexibility, but that's not what they're thinking going into this game. Going into this game, they're thinking, I win or I go home. So both of these teams are going to play like their life depends on it. Once, that all the time's up, the full hour of gameplay is up.
It's stronger.
We're dead.
Stronger than me.
Raiders.
Give me the Colts.
The problem
I'm
there,
stronger than me.
This is going to be one of the better
problem
matchup
there-
games of the week.
Yes.
the Colts has more motivation because Land Rovers will win, and Houston will win, right? So they gotta win.
No.
The Colts have to win.
It's not more motivation, though.
Yeah, because they have to win.
The Raiders have to win.
The Raiders also have to win. Also,
That's what I'm telling you. This
No,
time
no,
of the
no,
year.
They have
Well,
to
yeah,
win. It's
all of them
different.
there have their
they
own
have
motivation.
to. Yeah.
This
they have
time
their
of the
own
year is
motivation.
so amazing
Yeah.
because the people on both sides are going to play
I'm gonna go with the logo.
like they're going to die. If I don't win this game, I'm dead.
I'm going with the logo, and look at the logo of the Colts.
If you're not taking the Raiders, you're...
It's just not really a logo, is it?
Oh my god!
It's just a U.
But that's
I'm
the
not.
best short of
I'm
the
not
day.
taking that logo as my
Oh my
pick.
god, that's a perfect.
It's unbelievable.
Good, Hilton.
The man is a short, walking short.
Well, it is in the AFC West, by the way.
So what's the next game?
We have the Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Land Rovers.
Yeah.
Land Rovers.
Same.
Jaguars.
Same.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go next. I want to see the first one to pick this one, and the next game is the Lakers against the Giants. So I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah. The Rams.
The Battle of the Letters. I'm gonna go
It's
Giants.
the bottom of the letters. Oh, finally.
I'm also going to take the Rams. No one asked, but we already voted, so whatever. Giants are out. They can't go to the playoffs either way. Rams are still on the outside looking in, so they're going to play.
Man, let me just
very
tell
hard.
you that I'm really impressed with the lingo.
Mine?
No, our lingo here.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is better
What are we
than
talking about?
anything. No, I'm talking about the lingo. It's. Now I understand.
When
what
you're on the
is going
inside.
on. Yeah,
When you're
yeah.
on the inside, man.
The
Honey.
honey.
Is it good?
Well, it's the same as smoking a honey backwards.
Yeah.
Drinking the honey whiskey,
It
smoking
pairs-
any cigar.
It pairs really
It
well.
becomes a
Yeah.
backwards.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
I'll have you know, when we were at the liquor store, I didn't recommend the honey whiskey. That was this guy, who also likes the honey backwoods. I just said if we're going to buy it, let's buy the cheapest one, because it's all going to be...
It's good.
It's all going to be liquid sugar, okay? And I bet it is good. I'm going to have more mint julep here in a second. Battle of the Birds!
Hold on.
Another
Battle
one.
of the Birds. I have a Battle of the Birds.
Wow.
That's amazing, huh?
Okay. That's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Eagles.
Some of these no-brainers end up being the ones that
Upsetting.
they haunt you.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm taking the Eagles, though.
Yeah.
Eagles.
So am I.
Yeah. So everybody's sweep on Eagles.
Yeah, we might have more sweeps this week than any other week.
Is that really?
So far, we've swept the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Bills, the Falcons, the Texans, the Jags, and now the Eagles.
No, we have more than that's the biggest.
No, not yet.
Not
I
yet?
think 1 week we've had 8,
Okay.
which is half. I don't know how. I'm not counting in real time. I'll find out. We'll find out. But NFC South matchup, huge game. The New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ginormous. Very huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
have no idea.
Before I announce,
So, no idea.
Let's say
My
that's,
Trump impression.
Huh?
It's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
It's,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the biggest game of the year. You're gonna ask yourself, "Oh my gosh, this game is so big. How did this game get so
Oh my
big?"
god.
How can you contain
well,
it in a
it
building?
is the Saints against the Buccaneers.
China.
China, yeah.
Oh my God,
I'm
this is a
So
big game.
big.
Do I have?
I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
yes.
You're gonna go Buccaneers?
Yeah, I hate the Saints.
I love the Saints, but
I like the Saints logo.
Yeah,
The Buccaneers, please.
But I like the Buccaneers.
you know, like Drew Brees,
Give me the
2009, the 2009.
Oh no, I love that. I love
the
that
Katrina
Saints.
story.
Yeah, I love that Saints. This Saints, they're dog shit.
I like Alvin Kamara. I don't hate Derek Carr. I think he got. I don't think he's probably not a franchise quarterback.
No,
But I don't hate him.
I don't like him, but
I'm taking the Buccaneers.
same.
Is it a sweep?
Sure.
It is a sweep. Yeah, sure it is.
Sweep on the Buccaneers.
It's a broom.
Well, you know, there's multiple different kinds of birds in the NFL. You could argue that they're the only pirates, but there are the Raiders.
There
Are the Raiders pirates?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
So,
Certainly.
Is a pirate a bird?
could be.
Is a parrot?
If you say it wrong enough and with conviction,
Yes.
Say it like you mean it. We have the
Many
San
times.
Francisco 49ers
Yes.
at the Washington
Statement.
Commies.
That's a statement.
49ers.
I always say
Gotta
the
win.
Commanders.
The Commanders. That is one of, it's not my pick. One of my biggest upsets, not upset game winner, just personally upsetting to me is watching the short, very, very, very short rise and big fall of the Washington Commanders this year. I thought there was glimpse of really good play, and they fucking tricked me into voting for them week in and week out. And as you can see, 4-11, I lost most of those weeks.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just kept
You
thinking
kept
they're going to
picking
pull it
them.
out. Sam Howell was my fantasy quarterback, and he was ranked 5th out of all quarterbacks. This year, fantasy quarterbacks has just been a bad year. Where a guy who's on a team going 4-11 was a top 5 quarterback.
Yes.
So based off fantasy numbers, I kept trying to convince myself they'll do good. No.
Yeah.
So we have to take the 49ers here.
Yes.
Me personally.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm not the only one.
49ers. Sweep again.
Is that a record?
This is going to be a record
Yeah.
for sweeps.
It's at 8,
I think
right?
it's a tie right now.
We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sweeps.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying.
And guess what? We still have a few games to
Yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Pittsburgh
Blinders against the Birds.
against the Seattle
Birds.
Supersonics.
Yeah.
Birds for me. I'm not gonna pick the Blinders again in my life unless that Johnson guy stops playing for that team.
I
Remind
haven't
everybody
seen
what
him.
happened last week with the Seahawks.
They won. And they won. They beat the Tennessee Titans.
Away.
Yeah, they were at Tennessee,
Mhm.
and you didn't pick the Seahawks. I remember that.
You didn't believe.
You didn't. You
I
didn't have
didn't.
faith in the
Yeah.
birds. Trust me, I won't forget that.
Oh
So
He tends to not.
I've got a brain of a bird.
Yeah, right.
So my pick,
Birds have amazing memory.
or is that elephants? Anyways, I'm
Birds have good memory.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I've heard birds never forget a face. Like crows. Like all-
Really?
ravens. Yeah,
I don't know if it's true. How do we really
It's part of
know
this,
that?
yeah, yeah.
But I've read
Mhm.
that they don't forget a face.
Maybe not all birds.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
some
there's-
are.
I mean, it's like people. There's stupid people. There's stupid birds.
There's
win-
Seahawks.
like-
There's Cardinals.
like
you know?
Cardinals.
Yeah, like
Ah, you got it.
exactly.
Alright.
There's happy birds. There's
you
angry
just
birds.
stole it from me before I said. I was drinking, you know.
Swan, you don't say it. Don't say it. That kicks you under the table.
That's so good.
Oh.
I'm telling you,
That was too good.
Sometimes.
That was too good. I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
hopping on this
yeah,
bandwagon. Okay, all right.
Remind me what
There's
is
more than just here. There's politics
what is
going
the
on
real
here.
bird? Seahawks,
There's
Osprey.
politics going on now.
I
You know
will
what?
take the Ospreys.
Same record, but playing at home. So you're right there on your own.
Exactly.
Yeah,
terrain.
Yeah, I'm
No.
just trying to do.
So you're not. Don't play.
Uh-huh.
Don't play us. Don't play us.
He's like, oh, okay.
We know ya.
Fun tidbit. We obviously. Did you take the birds?
Oh,
You're never taking the blinders again, right?
No, blinders. I'll only take the blinds on that Johnson
Huge game
guy.
for both teams. Also, they're both in the hunt, trying to find their way in, as many other teams. We have the 5-10 Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay, there's this.
They should be a good team. I thought they'd be a good team. They are no longer.
I'm picking the suckers.
Yeah.
I think I might pick. Well, no. Justin Herbert's not playing.
Oh yeah, you just.
That's
said
why
that, yeah.
I would pick
But-
Los Angeles.
But neither is Russell Wilson now for the Broncos.
Might be a good thing. Drew Lock was, Drew
Don't want-
Lock was playing in
I would
Seattle.
take the
Yeah.
Broncos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the backup for Denver?
Strickland, Sutton, some
Is it
such-
Sean? No, Sean Strickland's a
Um,
UFC fighter.
I want to.
Cortland Sutton is a receiver.
Starts with an S though. I don't
Can
know
they
what
still
the-
make it? No, right?
Get our
Broncos-
phones out. Now we need to know who's playing. Because that's like I could have a second thought in here.
If we
Yeah,
all
I-
don't know, we're
I
all
never
on a even
really-
playing field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
hey,
I never
is this
really.
going to be our
Do they have any
game?
chance to?
Okay,
There's
so
no
no cheating.
chances?
No cheating.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I like it. I like it.
There's no.
I'm taking the
chances.
suckers then. I'm
You gonna take the suckers?
I'm taking
Yeah.
the suckers.
Okay.
Oh man,
So-
I wish I wish I would choose the
That
Broncos.
makes me want to take
the
Crows
Broncos
at home.
because of like it's always good to have someone to hate,
Yeah.
right? So let's keep them hating. And
So you're going to take...
No, I'm gonna take the Broncos, but I would love to be that reason, but it's not that reason.
What's that?
yeah,
No, I'm going to take them.
it's
Good that we hate them.
Yeah,
That'll be my pick, though.
yeah, right. yeah, but
No, Chargers has a. It's just an ugly logo, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'll take the Chargers. I like the mindset of taking the suckers.
No, I take the suckers.
So it's the Broncos?
It's the Broncos. The
I
Broncos
think
suck.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
my
In this
God.
game, who do you think sucks more? Them or the fucking Chargers?
That's the whiskey speaking, right?
Yeah.
No, you put Chargers for me.
Because I thought that's what you meant.
No, I meant the Broncos because the Broncos suck.
I think I might take the Chargers here.
Man.
No, I'm taking the suckers.
Yeah. This is just as bad as mine. Just as bad as mine now.
Take the fucking Chargers because of that.
So you're
man.
taking the Chargers.
I'm going to take the other suckers.
The other
Yeah.
suckers.
Yeah.
They all suck.
Okay,
All comes
so,
down to you,
alright.
Conrad.
I'm gonna go to the Chargers.
You're gonna take the
I'm
suckers?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the suckers.
Okay.
The left-handed.
So
suckers.
everybody's taking
We're all
the
taking
suckers.
some
Okay, so-
version of suckers.
Suckers.
We have to create some kind of communication. If you say suckers, I wanna have a surname for that. So suckers, because you
B.
said both suck.
There's suckers
you,
B and
you
sucker
guys are
C.
confusing.
I'm
me.
taking the lollipops.
Okay, lollipops.
Y'all take the
Lollipops.
suckers, I'll take the lollipops.
Okay, lollipops. Okay, so that's the code.
Yeah.
I
We
got it.
have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow. It's 8-7, and Chiefs have to win, man.
It's
They
not
have-
a divisional
Chiefs,
game,
They have to win.
but
They,
the Chiefs do have to win.
they have to win. Yeah.
They're kind of on the outside looking in now, aren't
Alright.
they? In the West?
Mm,
No, that division
no.
sucked. They're in front of the Raiders. They're
Yeah.
in front
Look at
of
the hate. Look at the hate. Well, man, when you have the GOAT in your
Chiefs.
team, provoking, right? When you have the potential GOAT in your team, you're always a contender.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I really like Travis Kelce too, and I think that he is very unhappy with himself, and I think he's going to try and play hard.
Sure.
I'm taking the
Does
Tigers.
that really matter? Who
I'm
knows?
taking the Tigers.
All right.
Really?
Yeah.
Dun,
Yeah, I picked
dun,
I picked the Chiefs, and they lost.
So you're doing the same thing as me, because every time I've taken these Kellogg freaking Tigers over here, they lose. And every time I don't pick them, they win. So I'll pick the Chiefs, and then I'll give you a point.
Okay.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
No,
That's an emotional
I'm the
hedge there,
Tigers.
huh?
I'm up 1.
Yeah.
I'm up 2. I can afford it.
Right.
Oh.
We had a talk like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's like if we all pick the same, you'd still win, right? By the end.
I said that as a joke, and I have not done that. have I?
no, we haven't.
I played it the way I would have normally played
Yeah.
it. But I was saying, after I built a solid lead, I'm like, every week I could just figure out what your picks are. I'm like, I'll take the same.
Yeah.
I'll take the same. And we could go 2 wins for the rest of the year each.
I know.
I'll still be up.
Yeah.
But that's not how winners
that's
want
not-
to win.
And it's not fun that
it's
way.
Not
anyway.
It's not
how you win,
fun
it's
that way.
how you
Yeah.
win.
And again, you know,
And there's nothing
I
on the line.
like
it's just for
the
fun.
Chiefs. I do like them,
Yeah.
but
Not enough.
not enough. Because I mean, I probably if you go
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and
sure.
see, every time that I picked them,
I
it was
suppose-
half and half.
All my
Yeah.
So
all my
I'm gonna
possible
take the Tigers.
potential
I've never really
goats
picked the
point
Tigers
man,
many
you know?
times. Probably
That's why I thought,
maybe
But
this
he
is
is.
the second
He
or the
is.
third time.
potential, you know, but
I don't think you have
Those
because
teams,
you've always said
they
based
have
on the
to-
logo. You're
Yeah.
like,
make
This
the
is
playoffs.
gonna
They
be
have to
a
make
year
playoffs.
to prove
Yeah.
something because Patrick Mahomes has never had to go on the road to win in the playoffs to make it to the Super Bowl. This
True.
year,
Yeah.
he will have to.
Yeah.
So
but
this could be, let's say the Chiefs going to win the Super Bowl. This is going to solidify him as like a new up and coming GOAT. That's the one thing everybody doesn't want to give him credit for right now. Is he always has these home game playoff wins,
you see, that's
That
why,
is true.
and you don't
which
waste.
is why I told you.
And you don't waste
if
LeBron
the Cowboys
James.
were to go super
No.
high.
You know
and
what
win
I'm
the Super
saying?
Bowl,
You don't
this is what
waste
will
it.
happen next
You don't
year.
waste
Yeah, they
Stephen
won
Curry.
because they
So
had the number 1 seed.
why
They
would
got
you
the bye. They
waste
got the home
Mahomes,
games.
you know?
No one gives
That
you
is
credit for
true.
it.
It's your
You have to be in
time.
last
Yes.
place in the playoffs.
How long is his
Go
contract?
on the
10
road
years?
the
or
whole
something?
time
Yeah.
and win the whole thing. And then
When they
people
make
might
that
say,
decision, man,
yeah,
they
still
really
suck,
thought long-
but
long
they
term.
did good
Yeah.
last year. Whatever.
You
No one
don't
wants to
offer
give you those
No, yeah,
flowers.
this much
But
of
if you
money
do it the other way, they're like,
for
yeah,
a
they
player
won
like
because
him,
they
you
got
know,
the home game. They won because it was a bye.
it has
They
to
won
be. It
because
has
the
to be
refs.
for
You'll never
the
get
franchise
credit.
Yes.
for the rest of the. You know.
But you get
Yeah.
100%
how it
credit
is?
from those
do the
losses.
players?
Yeah.
They leave in the
They'll
middle.
text you in the group
of the
chat and send you
contract?
stuff
All
on
the
Twitter
time.
and
Where?
remind you that your
Memes.
team
They
lost.
can.
Yeah, they'll send you the
I
memes.
think-
They'll tell you that your team lost.
I think
And
Dylan knows.
they'll send you videos and make you watch them. They'll remind you about that.
Dylan
There's
knows
two
more than-
conversations going right
Yeah,
now.
it was just amazing. Yeah, this is what a podcast
This is
about.
proper podcasting. Right?
Exactly, you know, like so you
The
guys
right
can go
headphones
back.
are conversation.
What you can do, you can choose one side,
Yeah.
then stop, go back and watch the other. Night,
The other
you know?
one, yeah.
Yeah. So.
You get to watch it
The
twice.
selective,
Oh,
yeah,
is that-
selective.
yeah.
That's a blessing.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Selective viewing,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We gave you bonus content.
Boy, oh my goodness! Tell me where you find that. No, there's nothing.
free?
there. For
I'm
free,
gonna have to watch
exactly.
it now,
He's
right?
gonna be like, fuck
To
you
see
guys.
to see what they talked about.
I don't even know.
What were we talking about?
I don't
Doesn't
remember.
matter now. It's in the past. You gotta watch
seemed
it.
to
now.
be amazing. We seem to be involved.
I couldn't remember.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
he'd have to answer it.
What is it?
Contracts. So if a player signs a contract and then they leave in the middle of it, aren't they still guaranteed because they're part of the Players Association?
If they let
Yes.
go, yes.
You have to be with the. You have to be in the league for a certain amount of time to be what's considered vested.
Do demand trade as they do in basketball?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
demand, okay, I want to leave.
You'll
this.
demand a trade, or you could demand like a good contract, and they'll hold out and they won't
Right.
play. It's rare, but it does happen.
Yeah, okay. So, man, the spirit is very similar, right? The
Yeah.
sport is.
There's.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm just
they see
surprised
happening
how-
in one sport and try to
Do
play
it
the same
another.
card on the other
Yes,
one.
but there are some
I bet in
interesting.
the off season they're friends. They
Yes.
talk like, "Hey, I held out. I did this. You should go try that." And they're like, "All right, fuck it." Zeke did that to us last year. He wouldn't. One of
He
our
got
running backs for
traded.
Dallas
But-
wouldn't play. He got traded after we paid him a lot of money too.
Yeah.
Then we still traded him, so we would have been better off just trading him to begin with, but we didn't. So there's no right answer. You think you know.
Is there a grace period where you cannot negotiate with a team? Because in basketball, it's very common to have that, right? So you can lure players without the consent of the team.
Similar
yes
rules.
and no. You can't go and like encroach on other teams.
Encroach, yes.
They have to like approach you. You can't go poach players.
Yes.
They have to approach you. And then there's also a trade deadline. So when the season starts, up until a certain point, open conversations and trades can happen. After the deadline, can't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Then it has to be just solely contracts falling out, free agency, signing new players. But there's no talks of trade. Like, you give me a guy from your team, I'll give you a guy from my team, or picks, or something like that.
Does any player have their own manager or the
All
club's
of
trade?
them.
But the,
Almost all
so these guys are always
Oh, yeah.
they have
behind.
their own
no.
agent. So it's not even
Yes.
the player. It'll be
Yes.
like the agent is here, like, hey,
Exactly.
man, so and so just got a contract for X amount. You're up in 4 months. I think that creates a precedence for you.
Yes.
You look at your stats compared to them. You're the next. You need a better contract than them because that's the precedent that it's set.
Yeah.
It's the same as like their house sold for so many, so you should price your house at this much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing.
You know, like that's why
Players are like houses.
it looks easier because of Baller. You know the
Oh,
The TV
yeah,
show?
yeah.
That's what it's like. I love that show.
exactly. So that's where I picked the. This,
No, it's
it
just-
sounds natural, you know,
It's
because you guys
just
are
like that.
because everything you're saying because you watch a TV series like that.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't go into the details. You just it's just entertainment,
sure.
right? But now
But you see
that I'm
some
here,
things.
it's making 10 times more sense.
Now
And
it
it's much
adds up.
easier. It's much easier to understand too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we recommend Ballers in this podcast.
100%.
We
Yeah, it's a
recommend
great show.
Ballers. Yes,
It's
for
on,
everything, right?
HBO Max.
It is very entertaining. I would tell you if you want to.
It's Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yes.
I'm spending too much money now playing Hogwarts that
Ah.
Konrad gave to my daughters.
How much money?
Konrad gave this game to
It was
my
free.
daughters, and I almost played for 12 hours straight.
I'm starting to wonder: is it's a fault of the game, or if you just are really
It's
into
a
video
fault
games?
of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
wish.
then
I,
now
I
we
wish
put
I
like
would be
1
more
hour
of a gamer.
each, me and my daughter. So it's like we play for 3 hours
a lot
now.
of video
You know,
games
1
now
hour
are
each.
very addictive.
You have to put a
Did
timer
you see
on
the
it.
last
Yeah.
one we
Times
played?
up.
I kind of look at my watch.
Did you see
and go
like
like,
Yeah.
1
California
hour,
games and
Yeah.
finish it
Mega,
up,
Dri-
save
Mega
the
Drive,
game,
I
so
think?
they have to.
Or
some
Master
people-
System,
ago.
Masters,
We're in the warehouse.
yeah.
I was gonna
25
tell you,
years,
It
30
reminded
years
me
ago.
of that because you were talking about beating the bosses.
We
and
have
stuff.
it in an Xbox at home.
And that's how Sam and I
But-
would play. But
Don't ever play.
And
it.
how
Yeah,
the
my
game would
wife
draw you
likes
in every
playing
time you want to.
sometimes,
There's another
but
mission.
It's not like,
There's another
oh
mission.
yeah.
And so
it's
every
my
time it'd be
thing,
like the
right.
hour or whatever it was that
If
Sam
she
and I
says,
agreed
hey,
on.
I'm tired of
I'm in
playing,
the middle of a mission. And
Use the
like, next thing you
computer
know,
or
you play for
whatever.
an extra
Right.
30
You play.
minutes. Yeah, and
then I
so
play with her.
it gets to the point where we'd be arguing.
Not
Like,
much.
"Give
I'm
me
not a
controller.
gamer.
You're
Yeah.
time.
Not a
The
gamer.
game
Are
makes
you?
you fight
Yeah.
because you want to play so
Certain games.
But because
not
I'm the
very,
parent-
like, I've
Oh,
got
you get to win
friends
that,
and I
though.
know people that are really into it.
No, no,
I'm just on
put it
like
down.
select
That game is
games.
I always
And
do like
it's-
5 minutes
If
to
it
get to
captivates me
somewhere,
and has like a
save
good
the game.
story and it's fun to play, then yeah. That's
I
what
don't
I'm
ever
doing.
think that far ahead. I'm just so
The
sucked
Hogwarts
into what's
game.
going on.
I'm
Oh, the Hogwarts.
So I bought it and then I bought it for Elise's birthday,
Oh.
Elise and Lily's birthday, because I've been enjoying it so much, and it's one of those things. If we were to do like a Hogwarts or Harry Potter Hogwarts experience of like what is the best medium, obviously the books. The books to me are number one. They're always going to be the best, like Harry Potter world and stuff like that. Number two, I mean, number 2 and 3 could be like Universal Studios, going on those rides and seeing it in person and stuff
Have you
like
done
that.
that before?
I went to.
Was it legit?
It is very legit. It is really cool. Like you can buy wands at the store and like go up to
The whole experience, you mean, right?
the whole
The
experience of like interactive things, the rides,
That's
the
cool.
building, like Hogwarts. It's really cool.
Especially if you read the books, if you
yes,
No.
and then
if
you,
you know
can
the
see it.
intricacies, right? Yeah, if you know the details.
No.
Because
And
I
then-
don't know the story, you know, like
This is gonna
And
be
then I
two
would say
podcasts.
I'd probably say the video game.
the video game.
The video game
Before
is like
the movies, you mean?
before the movies.
Before the movies.
After I started playing the video game, I've watched all of the movies. I love the movies.
Mhm.
But the video game adds so much more detail and depth because the graphics are fantastic. You can explore things you've always wanted to explore and see it in a like kind of what they took what the elements from the movie but put it in the video game. So it's like you get to explore the movie on your own time. So you get to go up and look at paintings like Walk and Talk, and you can go into the different hallways and different rooms and explore at Hogwarts and even the world around it. So I put the video game up there as like for that
I
franchise.
still prefer the movies than the video game, but the video game is so immersive. It's really
it's
good.
very immersive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I demand that in one of our next podcasts, we choose this world to describe a little bit more, and also the Lord of the Rings or any other one that you guys are into. You know, I was into Marvel. I'm not anymore because it's been quite a bad ride. But that would be a good talk. You know, like the way you're, because you know all the whole universes and all fun facts created. That would be a good talk, man.
Oh yeah. No, well definitely. We briefly touched on it before,
Yeah.
but we'll have to go in depth.
Yeah, we talked about best games and movies
Yeah.
on podcast before. Okay, last pick of the week, and let's just give 5 seconds silence for the viewers to type in my pick.
Is that a bird?
Valhalla.
So my pick is, if you got it right, if you just type in on the comments my pick in there, and Dylan's gonna say what my pick is.
It's gonna be the Vikings.
Yeah,
It's gonna be the Vikings, y'all.
I shouldn't have said anything. I thought out loud. I thought out loud.
I'm going
It doesn't
Packers.
matter. I mean, Packers is the team of the people.
Yeah.
So just so you
support
know, the Packers, they they don't have like an owner for the team. It's like the
The
people
city.
in the city owns the team. Like the people,
You buy
Lovely.
stock.
You buy stock of
you
it.
buy stock of the team.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like one owner. It's like the city owns it. So like the residents
Barcelona.
of the
Club.
Yes.
yeah,
The club.
yes.
Yes.
So that's the
You see my-
Green Bay
Mark.
Packers.
Yeah.
So just so you know, so
No,
it's
man,
a really good.
I love the story. See,
It's
I,
a good
I,
story.
I love the story. I won't peek him, but I love the story.
I'm a Viking, so
Who did you pick, Dylan? Vikings?
Vikings.
Okay, then when I
Yes.
went to
Yeah.
Packers? Okay.
so you're the only one
I just-
that's gonna be scoring a point this week.
I just think
Because I probably
this is a rivalry game. NFC North, Packers and Vikings have always been a rivalry game. The other one would be
Yes.
like Packers Bears. But having the home field
Advantage.
advantage, I think, is gonna help a little bit. Doesn't mean they'll win, but that's why I'm picking them.
yeah,
not
but
be-
I think
It's gonna be, in my opinion, a close game.
I think Green Bay will win, but I'm picking the Vikings because I'm a Viking. This is one of my teams. So I have like 3 teams, and I have a wild card.
There
I have
you go.
4 teams.
Man, this has been
Plus,
very,
plus the
very
Cowboys. So I have
educational.
5 teams.
Very educational and a lot of fun. This
Well-
yeah, this one wasn't it?
Thus concludes Week 17.
Yeah.
All right.
It's another one of the books.
Hey,
Thank you very much, all the viewers, for sticking around this year with us.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh
Konrad?
my
Yeah. This year.
Did you have like a final good end of the year message for our viewers?
Stay healthy. Stay happy. Spread that positivity and love to everyone you meet. Be patient. Be kind. And like, subscribe, and comment to this video. We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us what your New Year's resolutions are. Mine is to eat less carbs.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution is to smoke more cigars. Cheaper cigars.
Yeah. Yes.
No, not really. I mean, my message is go birds. Don't go
Tell Birdie love 'em.
blinds.
Don't go blinders.
Don't go blinders. Don't go suckers.
Surely don't go Broncos.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Subscribe to the channel and give us a like.
We love you.
Any last?
The only thing I'm asking for 2024, for me and for anyone, is tolerance. It's going to be a year that it will require tolerance.
What are you talking about? It's election year.
Oh, is it? Oh.
See
Whoops.
you later.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Ciao, ciao.
Cheers.